Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a story about what if Naruto has harem with Mace/Haruka Pokemon. Before I start, please support for more amazing content, and do consider subscribing to my channel and share this video with your friends. This is written by H Gundam and link in description and support writer. Let's start the video. Chapter 1. Going to server. On a long stretch of dirt road leading to the country of waves, we find one Naruto Uzumaki, who is currently 13 years old. With him is his teacher Jiraiya, the legendary Toad Sage. As the two walked along the road, Naruto was wondering why they were going to wave, even though he was excited by going there, as he could see Tazuna, his daughter Tsunami, and her son Inari. But it just didn't make sense. There was no reason to go there. There was nothing there that would help him train to become a better ninja, so why were they going there? As they walked, Jiraiya addressed him. Naruto, I am sure you are curious as to why we are going to the land of waves, right? Yes, I am. You promised you would take me to places where I would get great training. I don't think there'll be any in wave, said Naruto out loud, while said this under his breath, hoping his teacher wouldn't hear him. Not like I really care though about training to become a better ninja. But he did, and he was not surprised by what Naruto had said. The reason why is he knew Naruto did not want to be a ninja. He was forced into being one by the third. The reason why he did not want to be a ninja is Naruto held no connection or love to his village. He absolutely despised the village and everyone in it, from the villagers all the way to the ninjas. He hated every last single one of them, and there is a very simple reason why. All the years of beatings and starvation had driven him to the point where he no longer cared about them, and would never ever again. But there were a few exceptions to this. Him and Tsunade and the Renma stand owners were the only people that Naruto truly cared about. As for everyone else, he pretended to care about them. It was just an act, part of the happy mask he put up. Now the reason why he was a ninja in the first place is the third was trying to honor his father's wish that his son become a protector of the village like him. So the third forced him to enter the academy, where Naruto started the best acting career of his life. Naruto decided that he would flunk every time and get the lowest possible grades so that he could not become a ninja. And it was working for a while, but when he stole the scroll which he hoped would get him out of the academy for good and not for the reason of passing like everyone thought, it backfired on him when a technique that he learned out of curiosity got him into the ninja ranks. So with his passing, he was forced to continue to use his mask of stupidity and act like he wanted to be a ninja. But now was the time for him to stop acting like he wanted to be one and end the charade he lived all his life, and to just be who he wants to be himself. There isn't any training in wave. The reason why we're going there is to take a ship to a continent far, far away called Server, where you can enjoy yourself on a 3-year vacation and meet a friend of mine called Professor Stone, said Jiraiya. Hey, I thought you said you were going to train me to be a better ninja. That is what this whole 3-year journey is about, shouted out Naruto with his mask of happiness and stupidity still on. Stop lying to me, Naruto. I know for a fact you do not want to be a ninja. I don't know what you're talking about. I want to be a ninja so then I can become Hokage, lied Naruto. You can't fool me with that mask of stupidity and happiness you have, kid. I know for a fact you're very smart. Smart than that Sakura girl you pretend to like, and I know for another fact you don't like the village or anyone in it. So why don't you just drop the act and for once act like yourself, said Jiraiya to Naruto. After he said that, Naruto thought it over and realized there was no use hiding anymore. And once reaching this decision, instantly Naruto's attitude changed to what it really was: cold, and somewhat cynical, and somewhat uncaring. His eyes, which once held that fake great joy, changed to what they really were: eyes that had lost all sense of happiness and joy. His size also changed. He grew another 7 inches, making his height 5 feet 11 inches. The reason why he hid his size is it would make the old man expect more from him. After he made the change back to who he was, the real him, Naruto felt good. Really, no longer did he have to hide behind fake identities. He could be who he really was. There, that's the real you, said his teacher, glad that he was showing his true self, but also said that his true self looked like somebody who had lived several lifetimes. If you will please excuse me, I'm going to go change since I'm no longer hiding behind my false identity. There's no reason to wear this stupid orange jumpsuit anymore, said Naruto as he went behind some bushes to go and change his outfit. 6 minutes later he came back wearing a pair of black blue jeans, a white t-shirt, a black blue jean jacket that had the sleeves cut off, a black cowboy hat, black sunglasses, and black boots. In his right hand was his hideous orange jumpsuit, which he then threw onto the ground. After he threw it on the ground, he did a fire technique and burned the hideous-looking clothing. After he was finished, the two of them continued on to Wave, where they would then get a ship that would then take them to Server. 3 days later, the two of them are in the country of waves. They have already gone over the Great Naruto Bridge, and were now in the exact same city where Naruto's first A-rank mission took place. Naruto did not feel like stopping at the bridge builder's house. The reason why was he no longer had to wear the fake mask, so he no longer had a desire to see those that reminded him of his wretched village. So, avoiding places where he thought he could run into them, both he and his teacher soon arrived at the docks where large ships larger than anything he has ever seen were docked. Naruto then followed Jiraiya, who headed to what appeared to be a ticket counter, where he talked to the man that was behind the counter. "Excuse me, sir, but I would like to have 2 adult tickets on your most expedient ship that is heading to the continent of Server," said Jiraiya as he got out his wallet and prepared to pay the price for the tickets. "That will be $6,000 apiece," said the ticket man. Not complaining about the price, Jiraiya paid the $12,000, which surprised Naruto, as Jiraiya normally always made a big fuss about paying exorbitant amounts of money, but not this time. "Thank you for your patronage. Your ship is at Dock 5. It shall be departing in 30 minutes, said the ticket taker as he took their money and gave them their tickets. "Thank you. Come on, Naruto, we do not want to miss our boat," said Jiraiya as he made his way to Dock 5. "Okay, coming," said Naruto as he followed after his teacher to Dock 5. 13 minutes later, both of them arrived at the ramp of their boat, which was called the Lady Kigali. The ship was painted the color rouge. Naruto was greatly impressed by the size of the ship, which was a large ocean-going cruise ship. "Impressive, isn't it, Naruto?" said Jiraiya as he handed Naruto his ticket and then made his way over to a man and standing by the ramp that led up to the ship and was taking tickets from the people before they boarded the ship. "Yes, it is," said Naruto as he followed after his teacher. Soon both of them arrived at the ticket taker and presented their tickets. He took them and then said, "Your rooms are on the 2nd deck of the ship, upper level above the whole line, and your room number is 234, said the ticket taker as he handed them a set of keys to their room on board the large ship. "Thank you. Come, Naruto," said Jiraiya as he boarded the ship. "Right behind you, Jiraiya-san," said Naruto as he followed after his teacher onto the ship. Once both were on the ship, they made their way to their cabin. When they reached the room number 234, Jiraiya used the keys they had and opened the room. Once it was open, the two of them stepped inside. Once inside, Naruto noticed how beautiful the room is. They were in what appeared to be a living room, which was attached to 3 rooms. 2 of them were bedrooms that had bathrooms from what he could tell, and the other room had a small kitchen. Naruto, as he looked at the room, a smile formed on his lips, and it wasn't one of his fake smiles, it was an actual genuine smile. The reason why he was smiling is he now knew for sure that his journey was for real and not fake, or a trap. Jiraiya, seeing the genuine smile, now knew for sure he was doing the right thing. 2 days later, Naruto was going over some books on the continent of Server that he got from the ship's vast onboard library. The reason why he took the books is he was curious about the place he was going, and his curiosity continued to grow as he read about the massive continent. He read about the 12 sub-princesses, Lakis, her twin sister Mir, who both ruled over Kanto, Kigali, who ruled over the Orange Islands that were west of Kanto, Mir, who ruled over the Hoenn, Flay, who ruled over Holan, Lunamria and her little sister Marin, who ruled over Sinnoh, Dorothy, who ruled over Or, Sylvia, who ruled over Almia, and Asuka, who ruled Fiori, Relina, who ruled over Jado, and Asuna, who ruled over the highland region where they were going. He also read about the 3 sub-queens whose job it was to watch over the territories ruled by the princesses. Each sub-queen handled several territories. The sub-queens were Maru, she had largest territory, she ruled over Kanto, the Orange Islands, and Hoenn, and Jado, Natarl, who second largest, ruled over Holan and Sinnoh and Fiori, and Erika, that ruled over Or and Almia and the highland region. He also read that all these princesses and queens of Server had to answer to the main princess and Queen Princess Serena and her mother Queen Serenity, who ruled from the city of Crystallized City in the center of the continent of Server. His curiosity piqued more when he read about creatures called Pokémon, animals that lived in and around Server, and what they were used for on the continent of Server. He read about the Pokémon battles, the Pokémon trainers and coordinators and the breeders, the Pokémon archaeologists and researchers and the gym leaders, the Elite Four of each region, and the Pokémon Masters and the Pokémon Rangers, as well as all the titles that existed. 3 days later, Naruto was now reading every book he could get his hands on that concerned the Pokémon of Server, and how different types had different strengths against others' types and strengths. And so the days passed with Naruto continuing to read every book he could find and Jiraiya scoping out the swimming pool looking for more material for his perverted books. Finally, the month-long journey came to an end and the Lady Kigali arrived at Starport City, which was on the farthest east side of Server. Once the ship was securely docked, the passengers exited the ship. Once Naruto and Jiraiya exited the ship, and showing there, they headed towards an information building near the docks where they could get maps on all the areas of Server. But on the way to the building, Naruto noticed a Pokémon battle going on between 2 trainers. Telling Jiraiya that he would meet him at the information center, Naruto headed over to the Pokémon battle. The two trainers he noticed were using a Psyduck and Tentacle. Psyduck use hypnosis, said Trainer 1, who was a young girl who looked like she just turned 10 years old and probably not too long ago received her first Pokémon. Dodge the attack Tentacle and counterattack with Bubbles, said the other young trainer who probably also just turned 10 and got his first Pokémon. The battle continued for 3 minutes, and at the end the young male trainer won the match using Water Gun. At the end of the battle both trainers congratulated each other and walked away. After watching that battle, Naruto is sure of his decision that he had made on the ship the 7th day out at sea. But now he would have to tell Jiraiya what he thought about and decided. So heading off to the information center, he noticed Jiraiya had just left the building with several maps in hand. Jiraiya, noticing Naruto, went to meet him. When the two of them meet, Jiraiya said that they would leave the city and head towards Starlight City. About 2 days later the two arrived at Professor Stone's home, which was just outside Starlight City. His home kind of looked like a large mansion. After a few minutes of looking at the mansion, both of them approached the front door and knocked on it. 10 minutes later the front door opened, revealing a... End Chapter 1. Chapter 2. Meeting Professor Stone and Fateful Decisions. 10 minutes later the front door opened, revealing a very large man about the size of Jiraiya. He has long white hair and light blue eyes and is wearing a lab coat, dark khaki patience, and a sweater vest that is blue with a white t-shirt underneath. Note, he looks like the old Obi-Wan from Star Wars. The old man, at seeing them, or more so Jiraiya, said, "Jiraiya, it is good to see you again. But what are you doing here on server?" said the man as he ran up and hugged his friend. "It is good to see you as well, old friend. And the reason why I am currently on server is because of this young man right here," said Jiraiya as he broke the huge and pointed to Naruto. "And who might you be, young man?" said the older gentleman. "He's the boy I told you about in one of my letters, the one that carries the demon fox, remember Jason?" "Yes, I do, so this is him," said the man now known as Jason. "Hello, I am Professor Jason Stone of Starlight City," said Jason as he extended his right hand to Naruto. "It is a pleasure to meet you, Professor Jason Stone. I am Naruto Uzumaki," said Naruto as he extended his own right hand and shook the professor's hand. After they were both done, the professor asked if they would like to come inside for some coffee, or in Naruto's case, soda. Both of them agreed and followed the professor inside, where the three of them then proceeded into the kitchen, where the professor poured Jiraiya and himself a cup of coffee and let Naruto get a soda out of his refrigerator. Naruto picked Pepsi out. "I do not own Pepsi." After all three of them got their drinks, they sat down at the kitchen table where they began to talk. "Do either of you want something to eat? Because if you do, you will have to get it by yourself, given that the house staff has the day off, as I wasn't expecting anyone," said Jason. "That's okay, we're not hungry," said Jiraiya. After he said that, the two of them went on to talk about what they did over the past few years. While they were doing that, Naruto was not paying attention. The reason why is he was looking out the kitchen's window at some Pokémon that were playing in the backyard, and that obviously belonged to Professor Jason Stone. As he watched them play, a smile came to his face. 20 minutes later, both men noticed that Naruto was not paying attention and that he was looking out the kitchen's window and smiling, deciding to see what he was looking at. Both men looked out the window and saw all the frolicking Pokémon that Naruto was looking at. Professor Stone, seeing what he was looking at, said, "If you want, you can go outside and play with them, Naruto. I'm sure they would love to have you join them." "Really, you mean it?" said an excited Naruto. "Of course you can, that is, unless Jiraiya has a problem." "I have no problem, go ahead, Naruto." "Thank you, Jiraiya-san and Jason-san," said Naruto as he got out of his sit and made his way to the backyard. After he was gone, both men went back to talking. Back with Naruto, he had just gotten to the backyard in 6 minutes and was playing with the Pokémon. Naruto stayed with the Pokémon all day and only went in when Jiraiya called him in for dinner. After playing with the Pokémon, Naruto found that his decision from earlier was now reinforced, and that he was going to tell Jiraiya his decision tomorrow instead of waiting. At dinner, Jiraiya told Naruto that they would be staying here for a month. After dinner, everyone went to bed as it was 11 o'clock. In his room, Naruto was awake. He was thinking about how he would tell Jiraiya about what he had decided. After about 10 minutes, he decided he would just make it up as he went along. So with that in mind, he went to sleep, not realizing that he was being watched by Jiraiya, who decided to see if his student was asleep, and seeing that he was awake and thinking about something. Seeing Naruto awake and thinking about something with a worried look on his face, it confirmed conclusion that he had come to one day on the ship, when he saw how to train Pokémon books scattered all throughout their room. This confirmed that his student wanted to stay here and become a Pokémon trainer. Though he was sad by the fact that his student would no longer be his student, he realized it was time that somebody put him first instead of the village or some stupid promise. So even though he knew this, he decided to let Naruto approach him and tell him. When he saw his student drift off to sleep, he went back to his room where he stayed up half the night thinking about his student and what he was going to tell him, and the fact that he would have to tell Naruto about his family so he at least knew about them before they depart each other, because if his suspicion was confirmed he would immediately leave server and then fake the death of Naruto so he could protect him, even thought he did not yet know who he would fake Naruto's death. And with that he went to sleep. Morning did not come fast enough for both student and teacher as both were in a restless sleep. Finally, though, thankfully morning came, and with it came the day that would change both of their lives forever. After both had gotten out of their beds, they made their way into the kitchen where Professor Jason Stone was cooking breakfast for all three of them on the kitchen stove. "Good morning, you two. You're both just in time for eggs and bacon. Get yourselves a plate, and I'll serve it up," said Jason as he pointed to two plates that were on the kitchen counter right next to him. "Good morning, Jason, and boy does that sound good," said Jiraiya as he got a plate that was on the kitchen counter and made his way over to his friend, who then served him up some food. After he was served, he went to the kitchen table and began eating. "Good morning, Professor Stone, and Jiraiya-san is right, that does sound good," said Naruto, following Jiraiya's lead and getting a plate, heading over to the professor and getting his food. After he got his food, he went over to join Jiraiya, who was already eating, and took a seat next to him. Naruto began to eat. Soon the two of them were joined by Jason, who had his own food. Once he was seated, he also began to eat. For 20 minutes no one talked. The reason why is Naruto and Jiraiya were thinking about what was going to happen this morning, and why Professor Stone wasn't talking is he realized something was up just by looking at the two of them. Soon all three of them are finished eating, and Naruto and his teacher had left to go on a hike, while Professor Stone went back to his research on Pokémon's special abilities. When they were about 3 miles away, Naruto and Jiraiya sat down by a beautiful river and began to talk, or more precisely, Naruto began to talk. "Jiraiya-san, I have something I wish to tell you," said Naruto as he felt the time was right to tell Jiraiya his decision. "What is that, Naruto?" said Jiraiya as he pretended not to know what was coming. "Jiraiya-sama, as we were traveling here to server, I came to a decision about my life. I wish to no longer be a ninja, in which I had no choice in being, for that ungrateful village. I have no love for it or anyone in it except you and Tsunade-sama and the Ranma stand owners. I wish to stop being a ninja and become a Pokémon master, something I wish to be. And there is nothing you can do to talk me out of it. For once in my life I am doing something I want to do." I had a feeling that this would happen. And even though I am quite saddened by the fact that I will longer have you around, I respect your decision and realize that for once you deserve to do something for yourself. Thank you for understanding, Jiraiya-san, because that makes what I have to say next much easier. I'm sure you know that I just can't leave the village, because if I did I would be marked as a missing ninja. You're right, they would. I have been working on the problem but have come up with faking your death, but I am unsure of how to do it. But if I haven't missed my guess, you probably got some way not to be marked as one. Yes, I do. You see, I have a spare set of my old clothing. I'm going to cut a large gash in my arm, smear blood all over it, and then burn it to somewhat. You then take it back to the village saying that I died in the fight against a foreign ninja and that my body was completely burned to ashes except for some of my clothing. That is a brilliant idea, Naruto, and with me backing up the story they'll believe it instantly. Now that that's been taken care of, I think we should tell Professor Stone what we're doing. Why should we tell him? Why, because he's going to be the one to look after you here on the continent of Server, or until you or him find someone to adopt you. And now, before you say anything about being able to take care of yourself, remember most kids over here either have parents, or guardians, or live in an orphanage. If they do not, living by yourself would draw too much attention, but if you were to live under his roof you should be just fine. I concede to your wisdom. After that, both of them got up and went back to the mansion, where they then explained to Professor Stone what they were going to do. In 1 week, as they both had decided that would be the perfect time Naruto would be dead to leave. The professor gladly agreed and said he would start looking for an adoptive parent for Naruto. 1 week later, Jiraiya had left to go to Starport City to go back to Wave with Naruto accompanying him. The reason why he was coming is because of 2 reasons. Reason number 1 is before they reached the city they would do what he had planned to his old jumpsuit. And reason number 2 is he was going to say goodbye to his teacher before he went back to Professor Stone's home, who said he would have a surprise for him when he came back. The two soon reached an area they thought would be perfect for their plan. So taking out his jumpsuit, Naruto placed the clothing on the ground, where he then proceeded to slash his right arm, draped blood all over it. Once the wound he had made was healed by the demon inside of him, he launched a fire technique at the clothing which badly burned it, almost making it unrecognizable. After he did that, he picked up the clothing and then handed it to Jiraiya, who then put the clothing in a scroll. After he did that, Jiraiya turned to his former student and said, "Remember, Naruto, you can no longer call upon Gamabuta, but remember what he said, you can still call upon his 3 small children you already know," he said as he reminded Naruto of what the Great Toad Boss had said when they had summoned him to tell him what was going on, and the fact that Naruto was no longer going to be called upon him, as he was no longer a member of the village. But apparently they were wrong, as the Great Toad had told them that he may no longer summon him, or toads of any great strength, but he could still summon his 3 youngest sons, who could then act as a go-between if necessary between the former master and pupil. "Don't worry, I remember." "Good, and Naruto, I have a letter for you. It's about who your parents are. I'm sorry I couldn't tell you this before, even now, because it's just too hard for me to tell you, so you will find all the information in this letter. Also in this letter is information on a bank account I set up for you at one of the banks over here. The account has $1 million in it. Consider it a gift from me, and the village that robbed you of a good life." After Jiraiya said that and gave the letter to his former student, there was a long stretch of silence. "Thank you for the letter and the money. Goodbye, Jiraiya-san, I will miss you," said Naruto as he ran up and hugged his former teacher, who graciously returned the hug. A few minutes later their hug came to an end, and Naruto, who tried to keep tears out of his eyes but could not, ran off back to Professor Stone's home. Watching him leave without saying anything, Jiraiya also had tears as he continued on to the port city, where he then brought a ticket back to the elemental countries. Back with Naruto 2 days later, he had arrived back at Professor Stone's home. When he arrived, he found the professor in his laboratory. "Hello there, Naruto, I take it everything went well," said the professor. "Yes, it all went to plan," said Naruto. "Good, now then I'm sure you're curious as to what the surprises I told you about are, right?" "You are right," said Naruto. "So where is it?" "It's right over there on the table next to you." Following his instructions, Naruto looked at the table right next to him, and what he saw on it shocked him. What he saw was 2 Pokeballs turning back towards the professor, who had a smile on his face and who said, "That's right, Naruto, those 2 Pokeballs are for you. One has your first starter Pokemon in it, and the other Pokeball has a Pokemon I think you should also have. Also, I am just finishing up your personal Pokédex that you can use on your journey." "Thank you, Professor Stone, I don't know what to say but thank you. But what is my starter Pokemon and the other one?" "Your starter Pokemon and the other one is..." End of Chapter 2. Chapter 3. Naruto's Pokemon journey begins. Your starter Pokemon is a Fire-type Pokemon and your other Pokemon is a Psychic type. I won't tell you what they are because I want you to open them and see for yourself. "Alright," said Naruto as he picked up one of the Pokeballs. "The one you have in your hand is the Psychic type," said Professor, noticing which Pokeball Naruto had just picked up off of the table. Nodding his head, Naruto released the Pokemon from the Pokeball. A bright light appeared in front of him, and when it cleared it revealed the Kirlia. Naruto, at seeing the Psychic-type Pokemon, immediately picked it up off the ground and began to hug it. Soon tears came from his eyes as Naruto was so happy that he was starting his journey. He shed tears of happiness. Kirlia gladly accepted the hug from her Pokemon trainer. After a while, Naruto let her go and put her back into her Pokeball. After he did that, he safely secured the Pokeball to his belt on his pants. He then went over to the other one and releases the Pokemon that was inside it. A bright flash of light appeared in front of him on the ground, and when it cleared it revealed a tiny fox-type Pokemon of Vulpix. Naruto was somewhat shocked that his starter Pokemon was this. But after a while he got over it. He then went over and picked up the Vulpix, who immediately started liking his face. "I can tell you were surprised that your starter Pokemon is a Vulpix, and you're also probably wondering why I gave it to you." "I am a little curious," said Naruto. "I figured it would be a good match considering what's inside of you." "I think it is too now that I think about it," said Naruto as he put the Pokemon back in its Pokeball, and then secured the Pokeball to his belt next to the other one. "I'm glad you think so. Now then, here's your Pokédex," said Professor as he handed the Pokédex to Naruto, who put it in his right back pants pocket. He then gave Naruto a large watch, who then put it on his left wrist. "And this is your Pokegear," said Professor Stone. "You do know what a Pokegear is, right?" "No. A Pokegear is a watch and a map and composes, and the newer ones also have built-in phones, but not this one as it is an older one," said Professor Stone. "Now then, on the table behind me there is a backpack with some food and water for you and some poke food for your Pokemon. Also in the backpack there are 20 more Pokeballs and a cell phone with my phone number for here and my cell phone. I think you know how a cell phone works, right?" "Yes, I do," said Naruto as he walked up to the table. Naruto then put the backpack on, then put 4 spare Pokeballs on his belt. He then put his cell phone in his left front pocket. After he did that, the professor told him something. Naruto, I highly recommend you start your Pokemon journey in the Kanto region of Server. Why is that, Professor? Would it not be easier to start out here in the Highland region? No, and there are 2 reasons why. Reason number 1 is you have to have had competed in at least 4 other leagues before you qualify for this region. And reason number 2 is even if you could, the Kanto region is kind of like starting region for all young trainers. It has a lot of good Pokemon for beginners starting out like you. To get there, I suggest you go to Star Rail City. You should be able to find a train heading to that area. Alright, I understand, thank you, Professor, said Naruto as he prepared to leave. As he left, Professor Stone called out to him. Good luck, Naruto, I hope you do well on your journey, and I will contact you regularly. Thank you, Professor, and I'll contact you as soon as I reach the next town, said Naruto as he then ran out of the mansion and headed north towards Star Rail City. After he was gone, the professor went over to his computer and typed in 2 names and pressed enter. After he did that, an image of 2 women appeared on his computer screen. In 3 months, Naruto, you finally know love of 2 mothers, and finally 2 women will know the love of a child, he said as he looked at the image of the women. Meanwhile, back with Naruto, he decided it was time to look at the letter from his teacher. So taking it out of his jacket pocket, he opened it up and started to read it. Dear Naruto, the reason why I am writing this letter is because I cannot tell you in person who your parents were. I am sure you always wondered who your parents were, wondering if they abandoned you or if they ever loved you. Well, let me tell you that they did not abandon you, and as for loving you, yes, they did. The reason why they are not here is your father died putting the fox in you. That is right, your dad is the reason for all the hate you had to go through in your life. Also, if you're curious, your father's name is Minato Namikaze. As for your mother, she died giving birth to you. She also agreed with your father with sealing the demon inside of you. Her name was Kushina Uzumaki. She is also who you get your last name from, as you can see. Naruto, I know this probably makes you angry that your own parents are responsible for your horrible childhood. But please don't hate them, for I want you to understand that they could not bear to place this on anyone else's child. To them, it would not feel right to ask someone else to give up their child. Now that I have told you the truth, time to end this letter. After Naruto finished reading the letter, he was so mad. No, he was beyond mad. He was absolutely furious that his own parents had done this to him, while more precisely his father, while his mother agreed. The reason why he was furious was not just because they placed that thing inside of him, but also because he thought parents were supposed to do anything to protect their children, and his apparently didn't. Which then confirmed what he had believed all along, that they didn't truly love him, even despite what his old teacher said in his letter. The reason why is because if they truly loved him, they would not have done such a horrible thing despite doing it for such honorable intentions, as they called it. Naruto then threw the letter onto the ground, then brought out the Pokeball that contained his Vulpix and set it out. Once it was out, Naruto said to it, Vulpix, use flamethrower on that piece of paper that is on the ground. Make sure there's nothing left of it. Vulpix, said his Pokemon as it launched the attack. A stream of fire came out of its mouth and hit the paper, completely disintegrating it. After the paper was disintegrated, Naruto put the Pokemon back in its Pokeball and put the Pokeball back on his belt. Once it was safely back in the Pokeball, Naruto said out loud, Start original opening for Pokemon. I want to be the very best like no one ever was. Despite what has happened to me courtesy of my parents, I refuse to let this affect me on my journey to become the very best. To catch them is my real test. I will rise above it. I will find my place in this world, on this continent called Server. To train them is my cause. I will travel across the land, searching far and wide, helping each Pokemon to understand the power that's inside. Watch out, all you other Pokemon trainers, because I'm going to be a Pokemon master. Pokemon, gotta catch them all. It's you and me. I know it's my destiny, Pokemon. After he said that, Naruto began running towards Star Rail City and towards his Pokemon journey. End of Chapter 3. Chapter 4. Encounters in Star Rail City and a new friend. 2 days after Naruto left Professor Stone's lab, he was finally approaching Star Rail City. His journey there was pretty much uneventful. It would have been almost boring, except 2 hours before he arrived at the city he captured his first wild Pokemon, a Caterpie, which he caught using his Vulpix. The battle between them was very short, as Naruto had his Vulpix use its flamethrower on the insect Pokemon. After the attack hit the insect, he captured it and continued on his way. Now that he had 3 Pokémon, he was pretty confident that if he was challenged to a battle he would be able to hold his own. Naruto, 10 minutes after he spotted the city, had finally entered and was now looking for a Pokémon Center where he could get his Pokémon all healed up. Even though 2 of them didn't need it, he knew for a fact the 3rd one would, as it was the one he had battled. He soon found the Pokémon Center and walked in. Once inside, he approached the counter where he saw the beautiful young woman with red hair. The young woman, seeing him, greeted him. "Hello and welcome to the Star Rail City Pokémon Center. I am Nurse Joy. How may I help you today?" "Hello, I am Naruto and I come from Starlight City, and I would like to have my Pokémon healed up," said Naruto. "Of course, if you will please place your Pokeballs on this tray and I will heal them," said Nurse Joy as she placed a steel tray in front of her with several round holes in it. "Okay," said Naruto as he followed her instructions and placed his Pokeballs in the little round holes. After they were placed in them, Nurse Joy said, "It will be about 2 hours before your Pokémon are fully healed." She then walked away. But as she walked away, Naruto asked her a question. "Excuse me, Nurse Joy, I was wondering if there was a place I could get something to eat nearby." "If you're hungry, there's no need to go out and eat and waste your money. We have a cafeteria here that's open to all Pokémon trainers." "Really, where is it?" "You'll find it down the hall to your left. It will be the first door on your right," said Nurse Joy as she then went through some medical doors that were in front of her. After she was gone, Naruto went down the left hall and found the door she was talking about. It was a pair of double doors that could swing both ways. He then entered through the doors and went into the cafeteria. Once he was inside the cafeteria, Naruto noticed there are a few other Pokémon trainers. Deciding not to pay too much mind to them, he went up to one of the cafeteria's lunch counters. It had another one just opposite to the one he was at. When he got there, he noticed that it was kind of like a buffet, that it was pretty much self-service. He also noticed that a lot of the food was wrapped up in cellophane. Getting himself a tray, he began to get some food. The food he chose was, from what he could tell, a tuna fish sandwich with a bag of sour cream chips, a bowl of tomato soup, and a container of orange juice, and for dessert a fairly good-sized piece of chocolate cake. After he got his food, he went over to the tables and began looking for a table he thought would be a good one, not noticing that he was walking towards somebody who also was looking for a table, and was also not paying attention. This would be a mistake, as both crashed into each other. Naruto's tray fell forward, covering whoever he bumped into with food, while the person he bumped into completely dropped their tray. Both fell backwards onto their butts, causing both of them to close their eyes. "Hey, watch where you're going," said the person he bumped into in a beautiful young girl's voice. "Me, you are the one that crashed into me," said Naruto as he opened his eyes to notice she was also opening hers. "Wrong, it was your fault, and because of that your cake and soup ruined my clothing, so you better pay for my dry cleaning bill," said the girl. "How stupid can you be? If you were watching where you were going, you would not have run into me, thus I would not have spilled my food on you," said Naruto as he finally got a very good look at the girl he had collided with. She had long brown hair, the most enchanting blue eyes he's ever seen. She was wearing a handkerchief on her head that was green with bits of white in certain spots. She was also wearing an orange shirt with the sleeves cut off at the shoulders and a pair of black shorts with black shoes. "I am not stupid. If anyone is, it's you," said the girl as she also finally got a good look at the person she collided with. She noticed that he had blonde hair, dark blue eyes that she could get lost in forever, wearing a very weird set of clothing. "I am afraid you're wrong because I had the right of way," said Naruto. "Why don't you just admit you were in the wrong and then be a gentleman and pay for my dry cleaning?" "Sorry, but I don't pay for anything. That's not my fault. But if you really want to, you can try to force me to pay for your cleaning, little girl." "Fine, I will. We will have a Pokémon battle to decide if you get to pay or not for cleaning my clothing," said the girl, getting onto her tiptoes so that she could get into Naruto's face. "That's fine by me, but we'll have to wait. My Pokémon are being healed, but they should be ready in 2 hours. So if you can wait 2 hours, we can have our little battle?" replied Naruto, looking down into the girl's face and glaring at her. "That's fine by me." After she said that, both walked away from each other, but not before Naruto asked her, "Hey, what's your name? I want to know the name of the person I'm going to beat later." "The name is May, and I'm afraid it is I who is going to beat you." "Hey, what is your name?" said the girl known as May as she realized she did not know his name. "They call me Naruto," said Naruto. After that, both went their separate ways. Naruto went and got some more food. After he cleaned up the mess on the floor, he then found a table and sat down and ate his food. As for May, she went to the girl's room, change for clothing, and to take a shower to wash off all the food that was on her. When she was finished, she went back to the cafeteria, this time wearing a red scarf with white, a red shirt, black shorts, and black shoes. She then got some food and found a table and began to eat. 2 hours later, both of them left the cafeteria, where they then went to the Pokémon Center counter where Naruto spoke with Nurse Joy. "Nurse Joy, are my Pokémon ready yet?" "Yes, they are," said Nurse Joy as she reached under the counter and brought up the same tray she had used before. On the tray for his 3 Pokeballs he had left with her earlier. Taking the Pokémon off the tray and then putting them on his belt, he then said to Nurse Joy, "Thank you, Nurse Joy." "You're welcome." After she said that, both trainers left the Pokémon Center and headed towards a vacant lot that was right next to the center. Once both had entered the lot, both went to different sides of the lot and then faced each other. As they were facing each other, Naruto spoke. "I think we should make this a one-on-one Pokémon battle. What do you say?" "That is all right with me," said May. After she said that, both got out one of their Pokeballs and threw them out. "Come on now, Vulpix," said Naruto as he called his fire friend. "Go Beautifly," said May as she called out her Pokémon. Assumed both Pokémon were on the field waiting for orders from their trainers. Naruto decided he would wait, deciding to let May make the first move. That way he could counter her move and hopefully take her out in one attack. May, not realizing what he was planning and thinking he was scared, made the first move. "Beautifly, use Tackle Attack," said May. Her Pokémon, hearing the name of the attack, quickly swooped down at the Vulpix, who was not moving as it was waiting for orders from Naruto. Naruto, seeing the attack, realized he could counter it with one move, but he would have to wait until the enemy who was right on top of his Vulpix. When the Beautifly got within 10 feet of Vulpix, Naruto called out his moves. Vulpix evade and counter with a flame thrower from behind. Vulpix, hearing the command, easily evaded the tackle attack, then countered with her flamethrower, aiming it right at the back of the Beautifly. The attack hit dead center on the Beautifly's back, knocking it to the ground, but before it could hit and May issue a counterattack order, Naruto launched another attack. "Now that it's falling to the ground, jump up and hit it with your own tackle attack, and then hit with one more flamethrower." Hearing the orders, the Vulpix did exactly what it was told. After he did the combination attacks, the enemy Pokémon was down on the ground and out of commission. "Looks like I win," said Naruto with a smirk on his face as he called back his Vulpix. "Yes, it does," said May with downcast look and disappointment and sadness evident in her voice. Naruto, at hearing this, felt disappointment. Why, he didn't really know, maybe because he did not like to see beautiful girls sad. "But it was a good match, and I do feel somewhat responsible for getting your clothes dirty, and so I'll pay for the dry cleaning." "Why, you won the Pokémon battle so you don't have to pay?" "I don't know, maybe it's because I don't like to see such a beautiful young girl so sad." At hearing what he said, May blushed. "Now come on, let's go and get your clothing cleaned," said Naruto. "All right." And with that, both of them left the lot and went to one of the local dry cleaners where they got her clothing cleaned. After they were finished, the two of them went to a local train station where they both bought tickets to Kento. "I see we're both heading to Kento," said May. "Yes, it does." "That's so cool, maybe we could travel together?" "Why would you want to travel with me? After the fight we just had?" "Because I would like to be your friend, and also having someone going with you on your journey makes it even more fun, so what do you say?" said May. "And maybe on this journey we can become more than just friends," she thought to herself after she said that. "Sure, why not? I would have to be completely stupid not to want to have a beautiful young lady such as you travel with me." "That's great," said May with a new blush on her face. After that, both of them then made their way onto the train, which then 10 minutes later departed for the Kento region and Naruto's first Pokémon League competition will. A day later in their travels, the two of them were in the dining car when the train started to shake. The train was shaking so violently that it knocked both Naruto and May, who were both sleeping, out of their seats. "What was that?" said Naruto as he looked around the train car they were in. His question soon was answered. "Attention all passengers, this is the train conductor. There has been an explosion in one of the baggage cars and has now caught fire. Do not panic as we have it under control, but would all passengers come to the first train car for their own safety?" said the train conductor over the train's loudspeaker to the train's passengers. At hearing that, May started to get out of her set when Naruto grabbed her arm and stopped her. "What is wrong, Naruto? We have to get going," said May, looking at Naruto. "Do not go, something's not right," said Naruto. "What is not right?" said May. The conductor did not sound right. The conductor sounded just fine. No, he did not. He sounded a bit too different for my liking. You are just being silly, Naruto. I am going, said May as she pulled out of Naruto's hand and left their train car, leaving Naruto, who stayed behind. After she was gone, Naruto went back to his and May's room, where he then took of his cloths and put on a pair of black ninja cloths he had kept for stuff just like this. Getting them on, he went on top of the train and then went to the car where the conductor said to go. And when he got there, he looked into the car's window, and what he saw did not surprise him. What he saw was the train's 20 other passengers tied up in ropes along with the conductor and engineer. He then watched as at the left end of that train car opened up, revealing to the figure surrounded by smoke, and as the smoke started to clear, the two began to say something, with each taking turns. Prepare for trouble, said distinctively woman's voice. And make it double, said a distinctively male voice. To infect the world wood with devastation, said the woman's voice again. To blight all peoples in every nation, said the male. To denounce the goodness of truth and love, said the woman's. To extend our wrath to the stars above, said the male. And just as he said that, the smoke cleared away to reveal two young adults, maybe no older than 17 or 18. One was a girl with reddish-orange hair which kind of reminded him of Temari. She was wearing a black shirt with a large letter R in the middle of it that was red. Her male companion had blue hair and was wearing a similar outfit as her. Then the young woman said, Cassidy. Then her male companion followed right after her and said, Butch. Young woman then said, Team Rocket circles the world at the speed of light. With her male companion following quickly after. Surrender now or you will surely lose the fight. After they said that, Naruto heard May shout out, Team Rocket. After hearing that, Naruto knew that May's Pokémon were in danger, as he remembered that he read on the ship here that Team Rocket took other people's Pokémon. So not wasting any time, Naruto burst in through the window and landed in front of the tide of passengers, blocking the way to them from Team Rocket. Who the hell are you? Said Cassidy. And what are you doing here? Said Butch. I am Naruto, and I am here to stop the two of you from stealing the passengers' Pokémon, said Naruto as he got out Vulpix's Pokeball. The two Team Rocket members see that also got one off their Pokeballs. You think you can battle us, little boy? Said Cassidy as she got ready to throw her Pokeball. You're crazy if you think that, said Butch, also getting ready. Yes, I do. Vulpix time to battle, said Naruto as he threw his Pokeball. Come on out. The end. Chapter 5, Stop the Thieves and the Pokemon Archaeologist. Come out, Krogunk, said Cassidy as she her Pokeball. You come out to Gligar, said Butch, also throwing his. Then out in front of them their Pokémon appeared ready for battle. But before they could call out any attacks, Naruto yelled out one of his own. Vulpix used Flamethrower on Korrigunk, and then used Bit on Gligar. Naruto yelled. Vulpix, hearing that, did as she was told, and launched her flame attack at Korrigunk, who was still not ready, and then ran at Gligar, who was also not ready. The flame attack hit Korrigunk dead on the head. This made Korrigunk move back from the force of the attack, but it could still fight. As that was going on, Vulpix was on top of the Gligar that was just above the ground, and then it used Bit on it. Gligar hit the ground due to the force of the attack, but was still able to fight. As that was going on, Naruto was using the distraction to cut May free from her bonds. Once she was freed from her bonds, she sent out her own Pokemon. Alright, come on out, Glacian, she said as she tossed her Pokeball. Then in front of her, Glacian appeared ready for battle. Glacian used Tackle Attack on Gligar, then Ice Beam on Korrigunk, said May. Glacian, hearing that, launched her Tackle Attack on Gligar that was still in a daze from the first attack, so it could not avoid the oncoming attack. Glacian's attack hit at full force, doing a lot of damage to Gligar, almost completely taking it out of the battle. Glacian then used its Ice Beam on Korrigunk, who was also still dazed. The Ice Beam hit him, turning its lower legs to ice. Butch and Cassidy were both shocked by what they saw. The Pokemon battle had just started, and already their Pokemon were almost down for the count. And it was because of the first attack from the Vulpix that had done a lot of damage to their Pokemon, much more than it should have. Brad, that Vulpix is a lot stronger than a normal one, said Cassidy. You're right, it is. Let's capture it and give it to the boss, and the name is Butch, said Billy. It's Butch Ibaka, Sorry, said ZHC. Yeah, zero get Bill's name right, said 1v2. My name is Butch. Sorry, whimper 1v2. Yeah, let's get it for the boss, said Cassidy. But before either could give their Pokemon a command, they both heard this. Vulpix, use a full-power flamethrower and get these two losers out of here, said Naruto. Vulpix, said the fox Pokemon as it launched its attack. The flames came from the Pokemon mouth at the two Team Rocket members and their Pokemon. The attacks hit head-on, sending the four of them out of the train, and as they started to fade from sight, the two of them looked at each other and said, "We may have lost this battle, but we will back," said Cassidy. "Yeah, that Vulpix is going to be the bosses," said Butch. And with that they were out of sight back on the train. Mei, who after the battle was so happy and excited she ran up to Naruto and gave him a hug and a kiss on the cheek. She soon calmed down and started blushing as she realized what she had done with. Naruto also started blushing as this was Kain's first kiss, even if it was on his cheek. "Sorry Naruto, I don't know what came over me," said Mei, still blushing. "That's okay, you were just happy and excited and wanted to show it," said Naruto, also still blushing. He freed the other passengers. "Yeah, you're right," said Mei as she called back her Pokemon. "Come on, let's get back to our rooms," said Naruto as he was done freeing the others and had called back his Pokemon. "Sure, Naruto." And with that both returned to their room. 3 days later the two of them come to Lumber City, which is the city right outside of Kanto area and is 5 days from Pallet Town. After getting to Lumber City, the two of them get their Pokemon healed up. The two of them leave the city going to the Kanto area on a dirt road that went through a forest. 2 days later the two come upon a large campsite, but it looked like it was attacked. As they got closer to the camp, Naruto heard something so flowing the sound Naruto and Mei found a man that was tied up and gagged behind some bushes. The man had brown hair, brown eyes, was wearing light brown khaki pants and a black t-shirt with a white lab coat. He also had on a pair of glasses. Naruto, seeing this, cut the ropes from the man's hands. As he did that, Mei asked if he was okay. "Are you alright?" After his head were free, he took out the gag in his mouth and said, "I am fine, thank you for asking." A few seconds later he was free and standing up. "Thanks for your help," he said. "You're welcome. By the way, the name's Naruto, and this is Mei," said Naruto. "Nice to meet you both. I am Keitaro Urashima, and I am a Pokemon archaeologist." "Nice meet you," said Mei. "Please call me Keitaro." "Alright Keitaro, what were you doing tied up and gagged?" said Naruto. "I was attacked by Team Rocket, who then stole a very rare Pokemon artifact from me which I was trying to decode." "What was the artifact?" asked Naruto. "A key to an ancient, evil Pokemon temple." "That's not good. Maybe we can still get it back by going to the temple before they use it?" said Mei. "That won't work. I didn't find the place where the temple is." "That is too bad, but tell you what, I will keep an eye out for Team Rocket on my Pokemon journey," said Naruto as he and Mei started to leave. But before they got anywhere, Keitaro said, "Mind if I come along?" "Sure, but why?" asked both Mei and Naruto. "Because there is nothing more here to look for, so I have to leave anyway, but I have no new sites to go to. But if I go with you too, I might just find something. Plus, I don't like traveling alone," he said as he grabbed a backpack that was leaning up against a tree. "Then come on," said Naruto. And with that the three of them left the campsite, but as they went something came to Mei's mind. Where were they going? "Naruto, where are we going?" "I don't know. I would like to go closest gym, but I don't know where it is." "Could I make a suggestion?" "Sure. Why not go to Pallet Town first, as that is where one sign-up sheets for the coordinator contest is for Kanto. Plus I know people there and it's only a few days travel time from the Pewter City gym," said Mei. "Sound like a plan," said Naruto as he ran ahead of Mei and Keitaro. "Naruto, wait up!" yelled Mei, running after him with Keitaro right behind her. Back up front with Naruto on his face was a smile as he thought of his first gym battle that was coming up, as well as some of the first real friends he has ever made. "I can't wait for my first gym battle. And I love having two possible real friends," he continued to think as he ran even faster with Mei and Keitaro right behind him. And so a new friend has joined up with Naruto and Mei on their Pokemon journey. What awaits them on the way to Pallet Town, who knows? But I am sure of one thing: new battles and friends await them on this Pokemon journey. Next chapter 6. Chapter 6, Poke Battles and Naruto's Past. 2 days later our trio has made camp for the night. Mei was sitting in front of the fire that Naruto had made and was watching Naruto and Keitaro have a Pokemon battle. She was also flipping the fish that Naruto had chuffed from a river. Vulpix used tackle attack on Beedrill, said Naruto to his Vulpix. Vulpix then used its tackle attack on Beedrill. But before it could get in range, Keitaro said. Beedrill evade and counter-attack with twin needles. Beedrill, hearing this, evade the attack, then used its twin needles on Vulpix. Vulpix, look out, said Naruto, but it was too late. Vulpix was hit by one of the needles. The hit pushed Vulpix back a little, but it was still in the fight. Naruto, seeing this, knew he could counter-attack. Vulpix used flamethrower. The attack went right at Beedrill, who did not have time to evade. The attack hit head-on, doing a lot of damage, but it did not take Beedrill out of the fight. Keitaro, seeing this, knew his Pokemon had only one more move before it was out, but he also saw Naruto's Pokemon in the same spot, so deciding to end this, he said, Beedrill, use twin needles one more time, but use your full speed. Beedrill, not wasting a second, launched its attack, moving at full speed. The speed caught both Naruto and Vulpix by surprise, and that almost cost them. Just as Beedrill was about to strike, Naruto got over his surprise and ordered a counter-move. Vulpix used tackle attack to counter. Vulpix, hearing Naruto, brought it out of its surprise and it launched its attack. Both Pokemon meet each other with both attacks hitting head on. The force of both attacks KO'd both Pokemon. Seeing this, both Naruto and Keitaro called back their Pokemon. Good going, Vulpix, I am so proud of you. Take a good long nap, said Naruto as he put his Vulpix back into his Pokeball. Nice job out there, Beedrill, you go and take a nice rest, said Keitaro as he put his Beedrill back into its Pokeball. Good fight, Naruto, said Keitaro. Thanks, you too. You are really good, you should have no problem when we get to Pewter City, said Keitaro. Hey, you two, it's time to eat, said Mei. Great, I am hungry, said Naruto as he went over to the campfire and took a sight on a log. Me too, said Keitaro as he also took a sight. From there, Naruto served up the fish. As they eat, they started to talk about just stuff, be it soon turned to where they came from, their families and friends. Both Mei and Keitaro were happy to talk about where they came from, but Naruto was scared as he was going to have to tell them of his hard life and the demon inside him. First to talk about where they came from was Mei. She told of her life in Petalburg City, about her brother Max, who was just starting his Pokemon journey back home, her mom Caroline, her dad Norman, who is the gym leader for the gym in Petalburg. She also told them about Ash and how they meet, and of Brock and all her other friends. Keitaro told of his life back in Hinata, which was a city near Crystallized City where he owned an all-girl dorm that was run by his two wives Neru and Mutsumi while he was away. He told of his mentor Dr. Noriyasu Sita, who got him started in Pokemon archaeology, his aunt Haruka, who was Sita's wife and also a bit of an archaeologist in her own right. He talked about Kala-Su, who was a princess from an island nation of Malmo that was near the Orange Island about 70 miles away. He talked about Shinobu Maihara, who is a Pokemon coordinator, and of Motoko Oyama, who is a gym leader in the Highland region of Sever, and of Mitsune Kano, a Pokemon reporter for the PNC or the Pokemon News channel. He also talked about his mentor's ward Sarah McDougal, who is just starting her Pokemon quest, and of his sister Kanako Urashima, who is a Pokemon trainer/impressionist for a Pokemon circus. After he was done, it was finally Naruto's turn, and he was very scared, but he knew that he had to tell them as he did not want to lie, so he started to talk. I was born on a different continent about a mouth strip from here in the Land of Fire, said Naruto with a sad voice that did not go unnoticed by Mei. You mean you come from the elemental nations? Said Keitaro in surprise. Yes, how do you know of them? Most people only know of the nation of Wave of, as it is called over here, Felinad, because it's not behind the mist like the rest of the elemental nations, said Naruto, looking at Keitaro in shock. I was in the Land of Sand a few months ago with Sita, who told me about the elemental nations, and who the mist hides it from the world all but Wave, said Keitaro. What are the elemental nations? Asked Mei. The elemental nations are a group of nations that have a group of solders called ninjas that can use the elements, and the elements they use most gives the element nation its name, like Naruto here said he came from the Land of Fire. Ninja from there use mostly fire. Also ninjas can use their body's energy, or chakra as they call it, to use the elements as well as do some other stuff, said Keitaro. Okay, I get it, but Naruto, why are sad when talking about where you come from? Is it because you miss it? Said Mei, looking at the sad teen. The reason why I am sad is not because I miss my home. Hell, it was never my home, it was a prison for me, snarled Naruto. How can you say you don't miss your home? What about your mom and dad, don't you miss them? Asked May. Would you miss a place where every day of your life people called you Hellspawn, Demon Child, Abomination, the Unholy One, Child of Satan? Or being stared to death or forced to eat from garbage cans or leave an apartment that was condemned because no one would let you stay in the new ones? Yelled Naruto. You mean you were forced to leave like that? What about you mom and dad? Said May. Yeah, what about your parents? And were you made to live like that? Said Keitaro. Yes, I was forced to live like trash, and as for my worthless parents, they died, and they are also the reason why I lived like that. I don't understand, why are they to blame? Said May. What I am about to tell you may make you both hate me, fear me, or both you may even run away from me. I doubt that. You're a nice person, I can tell, said Keitaro. Me too, said May. Okay, on the night I was born, my old home was attacked by a fox demon with 9 tails. The demon was unstoppable, that is, until the leader of the village stopped him by sealing the demon into a baby using his own life. That baby was me. At hearing that, both were shocked. But wait, there's more. The man that did it was May dad, who had permission from May mom, who died from May birth. I get the villagers must have thought you were the demon and hated you, said Keitaro. Yes, and now both of you will too. Running away and leaving me alone, said Naruto as he tried to not cry as he thought about the two leaving. But to his surprise, May tackled him to the ground and started to cry. How could you think that Naruto were your friends? Said May between sobs. Because I am all what they call me? No one will care, said Naruto as he tried to keep the tears back as the wall around his pain started to break. No, you're not, your Naruto, a caring, loving person, said May as she cried on him still and starting to hug him. Ho tried to say but stopped as he started to cry as the hug broke his last wall around his pain. Soon he was sobbing as the years of pain were coming out as he hugged May back. Keitaro soon walked up and placed his hands on Naruto's shoulders in a form of support. A few minutes later, Naruto was done crying but was still hugging May, who did not mind at all. Thank you both for staying my friends and for understanding, said Naruto. Not a problem, and remember, we're here for you, said Keitaro as he went to sleep. Naruto, know this, people here will understand you if you give them a chance, as we see many things because of the Pokémon, said May, falling asleep in Naruto's arms because of his heat. You're right, said Naruto as he too went to sleep. And so Naruto's past is told, and his friends don't care. Now their friendship will be stronger because of this. But what awaits them in Pallet Town on this Pokémon journey? Chapter 7. Chapter 7. Battle in Pallet Town. On a dirt road just outside of Pallet Town at about 10 a.m. we find our trio with Naruto in the lead. Naruto, wait up, shouted May. Come on, you slow bros, Pallet Town is just over this hill and I want to get you signed up so we can get to Pewter City, yelled Naruto at May as he ran faster and up the hill. Slow bro, I'll show you who's slow, Naruto, screamed May, running all out to catch Naruto. When she caught him, he was at the top of the hill. She tackled him to the ground and started to tickle him. Who's slow now, Naruto? Said May as she sat on his chest and tickled him. You, ha 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 ha, still ha ha or ha ha ha, May, said Naruto, laughing as he flipped both of them over and was now on May's stomach and started to tickle her back. Ha 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 ha, stop, Naruto-kun, I give, laughed May. That should teach you not to start a tickle fight with me, said Naruto, getting off May and helping her up. May's response to that was to stuck out her tongue at him. Just a little ways behind them was Keitaro, who was looking on with a smile as he watched them interact with each other and thinking to himself, they look so good together, and I can also tell they are falling in love even though they cannot see it just yet. After that he walked up to them and said, if you're both done, I think I can see Pallet Town from here. He then pointed to what looked to be Pallet Town that had just come into view. May, looking to where he pointed when she said, yes, that's Pallet Town, alright, come on, follow me, I know where to go there, she said as she led the way down the hill with Keitaro and Naruto following her. Soon the trio was in Pallet Town, where May then led them to the place where one of the Kento Pokemon coordinator sign-up sheet was. She led them to the lab of Professor Oak. Once there, she knocked on the lab's front door. A few seconds later, the door was opened by a teenage boy with a green shirt and brown pants and a headband. Hello Tracy, it's good to see you again. Is the professor in? Asked May. Note, I don't know if May and Tracy have met or not. Hello May, it's also nice to see you too, and yes, Professor Oak is in, but who are they? Said Tracy, pointing at Naruto and Keitaro. Oh, these are my friends Keitaro Urashima, a Pokémon archaeologist, and Naruto, a Pokémon trainer, said May as she pointed to them. Well, it's nice to meet you both. Why don't you three come and I'll take you to see Professor Oak, said Tracy as he led them inside into the lab where they saw Professor Oak. He was working on his computer when they came in and had not noticed them. That is until Tracy called out to him. Professor Oak, someone is here to see you. Professor Oak, hearing that, looked from his work and turned to look at the door to his lab and saw May and two men. Getting out of his chair, Professor Oak walked up to them and then said, It's good to see you again, May. Who are your friends? Said Oak. It's good to see you as well, Professor, and my friends' names are. I am Naruto, said Naruto. And I am Keitaro Urashima, said Keitaro. It's nice to meet you both. Now, if you would follow me to the dean, I would like to get to know you both, said Oak as he led them to the dean. Once there and after everyone was seated, he asked if they would like anything. I would like a cup of tea, please, said Keitaro. I will have a Diet Coke if you please, said May. A glass of water is fine, thank you, said Naruto. From there, Professor Oak sent Tracy to get the drinks and some snacks. Tracy soon came back with the drinks for them and a plate of cookies. Once they had their drinks, Professor Oak, who was having a cup of coffee, said, Keitaro, you said your last name is Urashima, right? Yes, Professor Oak, I did, said Keitaro as he took a bit of a cookie. Are you any relation to Hina Urashima? Said Oak. Yes, she is my grandma. I thought I recognized you. I met you when you were just a small child, maybe 3 years old. Your grandma Hina, and you came to visit me in here, said Oak. Really, Professor Oak? Said Keitaro. Yes, as a matter of fact, Tracy, could you go and get Delia Ketchum and tell her to come over, please? Said Oak, looking at Tracy. Sure, Professor Oak, said Tracy, getting out of his sit and running out of the room and closing the door behind him. After he was gone, Professor Oak noticed the others were confused about his actions. Oak, seeing this, said, You'll see why I want her here as soon as she gets here. A few minutes later, the four of them heard the door open, so turning to the door, the four of them saw Tracy and 3 other people enter the room. They were a teenage boy with brown hair and black eyes and a black shirt and pants, looked to be 1 year older than Naruto, a teenage girl with blonde hair with a blue bow in it with brown eyes and wearing a blue sundress, also looked 1 year older than Naruto. The last was a woman in her late to mid-30s with brown hair and brown eyes, wearing a pink vest, a yellow shirt and a light blue skirt. Professor Oak, seeing them, said, Hello Delia, I am glad you could come, and what a surprise to see both you, Gary and Ashley, said Oak as he forgot about the other 3. But that soon changed as Naruto coughed and got everyone's attention. Professor Oak, who was talking to both Gary and Ashley, stopped and said, Where are my manners? May you already know some of them, but Naruto and Keitaro, I would like you meet Delia Ketchum, her daughter Ashley Ketchum, and my grandson Gary Oak, said Oak. And Delia, Gary, I know you know May, but you do not know the other 2, and Ashley doesn't know any of them, so I would like you to meet May, Keitaro, and Naruto. May, after hearing that Ashley was Miss Ketchum's daughter, as she did not know that Ash had a sister, said, Miss Ketchum, I did not know Ash had a sister? Well, he does. This is his twin sister Ashley, and she is a Pokémon coordinator like you, said Delia as she went up to May and hugged her. Realizing they were getting off topic, Professor Oak said, The reason why I asked Delia here is, Delia, do you remember back when you were 12 or so and you babysat for me for a week? Yes, I do. He was such a good child. Why do you ask? Because I thought you would like to see that child again, or should say man. You mean the Keitaro you introduced us to? It is the same one I babysat for all those years ago? Said Delia. Yes, I do, and that is the reason why I called you here. I thought you would like to see him, said Oak. I do, said Delia as she walked up to Keitaro and looked him over. You may not remember me, but Keitaro, but I babysat you when you were here many years ago, said Delia. I do remember you somewhat, but not a lot, said Keitaro. Well, that is normal as you were just 3 years old, but it's still good to see you, said Delia. After that, Delia, Gary, and Ashley took a sit and let the introductions continue. The first to go was May, next was Keitaro, and finally it was Naruto's turn. Naruto was scared as he still did not trust people very well, and he still feared rejection. May, seeing this, said, I will tell them, Naruto-kun, if you like, so you can leave if you want. Thank you, May-chan, said Naruto as he left the room and went outside. After he was gone, Mei started to talk. You're all probably wondering why Naruto is not telling you this. You see, he is afraid you will fear him or hate him or both. Why would we fear him or hate him? Asked Delia. Because all his life people have feared him, hated him, or both, said Mei. Why is that? He very nice, said Ashley. It's because he has a monster inside of him, said Mei. I don't understand a monster? Said Gary. From there Mei went on to tell all of stuff Naruto told her. At the end of her talk, all hell broke loose. Gary, who was holding a cup of tea, broke his cup in anger and started to cuss out the Leaf Village, and Naruto's mom and dad Oak was just reigning in his own anger at the Leaf Village. Tracy was also just keeping his anger into and was saying how heartless the Leaf was and how stupid his parents were. Delia was openly crying over how bad Naruto was treated and at how his parents did not care about him. Ashley had tears in her eyes as she fought to keep from going to the port, getting on a boat, and going to the Leaf Village and taking it down. After a few minuets, Mei said she was going to get Naruto to tell him he can come back. After she left along with Keitaro, who said he liked to help, to the 5 that were left started to talk. If I ever see anyone from the Leaf here, I'll have Blastoise water gun them into the next century, said Gary as he then went on about how he would use his Pokémon to teach them a lesson. I'll have Venusaur use solar beam on them if I ever run into someone from there, said Ashley as she thought about what she would do to anyone from the Leaf Village. Tracy was going to see if any charges could be brought against any person that came to server from the Leaf Village. As those 3 went about that, Oak thought about it and was going to contact Professor Stone later and find out how to best help Naruto. He then whispered to Delia what his plan was. Delia was first going to make Naruto his favorite meal once she found out what it was, and tell the rest of Pallet Town about Naruto, as she knew that they would want to help. And after she heard Oak's plan, she was going to be there when he called Professor Stone and find out what he was doing to help Naruto, and what she could do as well. Soon the 5 of them hear the door of the room open, so turning to the door, the 5 of them see Mei leading Naruto into the room. At seeing him, Gary smiled as he respected Naruto for being able to not go crazy from his life in Leaf. Ashley had let the tears come once more as she looked at Naruto. Tracy was also smiling as he also respected Naruto. Oak was looking thoughtfully at Naruto. As for Delia, she had tears in her eyes and her cheeks had tears on them. She was also barely keeping herself from running up to him and hugging him. But one thing all their faces said was, we understand and do not hate or fear you for this. But Naruto could not see that as he is facing the ground. As he did that, he started to talk. Mei just told me that she has told you about the demon fox inside me. So I will save you the trouble and leave and never come back, he said as he started to leave. But before he could, he was caught up in a hug from Delia and Ashley as Gary and went to his left side and put his hand on Naruto's shoulder, with Tracy doing it on the other side. Oak was standing right behind the 2 Ketchum women, looking on in a smile. Naruto was in shock as he thought they would turn on him, as that is what all before them have done. Why do you not hate me like the rest of the Leaf Village did? Asked Naruto as he still had trouble with people not hating him. Because, Naruboy, we understand that you and the demon are separate, and only fools and hateful people would think you were one, said Gary. Yeah, Gary is right, Naruto, only ignorant fools would think that, said Tracy. Yes, my grandson and Tracy are right, Naruto, said Professor Oak using his grandfather voice that reminded Naruto of the old ramen stand guy that he liked. Naruto, I can only imagine the life you had and how it has made you think the worst of people, but from what Mei told us, you decided to stay on server to have a new beginning, new life, and to have that you must trust in the people of server. And from what I can tell, the fact you told us this shows you are, said Delia. My mom is right, you have to have faith in the good hearts of the people server, said Ashley. Naruto, at hearing this, once more broke down as he let more of his long-hidden pain out. After a few minutes, Delia spoke. Naruto, I would like to prepare your favorite meal, so could you tell me what it is? It's ramen any kind, said Naruto. Good, I'll make it, and I am going to tell the rest of Pallet Town, and before you say anything they will accept you, and the reason way I know is I grow up here in Pallet Town, and they will accept you just like the rest of server will, said Delia as she let Naruto go along with Ashley. Naruto did not say anything but nodded his head that he understood. After that, she left the room to go home and prepare the meal, as well as phone the rest of Pallet Town and tell them about Naruto. After she was gone, Ashley had an idea to get Naruto's mind off his troubles. Hey Naruto, let's have a Pokemon battle, she said with enthusiasm. At hearing this, Naruto got pretty happy. Sure thing, and just to let you know, I will win, believe it, said Naruto as he ran out the door. "We'll see about that, Naruto," said Ashley, following after him, with the rest following them outside to watch the battle. But once outside, the group went to the lad's backyard, where then both Ashley and Naruto took a side of the yard. It was decided that it would be a one-on-one Pokémon battle and that Gary would referee the battle. Soon both Naruto and Ashley were ready to begin. "Go Bellsprout, time to battle," said Ashley as she throws her Pokeball. "Go Curlia, it's go time," said Naruto as he also throws his Pokeball. Then in front of them their Pokémon appeared in front of them. Not wasting any time, Naruto called out his attack. Curlia used Psychic on Bellsprout. Around Bellsprout a blue aura appeared, but before it could trap Bellsprout, Ashley called out a counter move. Bellsprout spun around to get out of that, and then used Vine Whip 1 Curlia. Spinning around, the blue aura disappears. Once it was gone, Bellsprout attacked with Vine Whip. The attack hit Curlia, doing some damage, but not enough to take Curlia out of the fight. Naruto, not being one to give up, yelled his next attack. Curlia used Double Team and covered the area with clones. Curlia quickly did what it was told and did Double Team and surrounded Bellsprout. Seeing this, Ashley had to come up with a plan, as this move lowered her offensive power. Thinking fast, she came up with a plan. Bellsprout used Razor Leaf on all the Curlias. Bellsprout, hearing this, used Razor Leaf on all of the Curlias, only to find that they were fakes. "What is this? Where did she go?" said Ashley as she and Bellsprout looked around for the missing Curlia. She soon found out where Curlia was when a group of 7 shadows above the battlefield. Looking up, she saw Curlia surrounded by 6 small stones that were held by Psychic. It did not take long for Ashley to find out what had happened. Naruto had used the Double Team to distract her from his real move, which was to have Curlia above the battle and use Psychic on some stones. She was taken out of her thoughts when she heard this. "Curlia, throw the stones you have held by Psychic at Bellsprout." Soon the 6 stones were coming at Bellsprout. Ashley, seeing this, yelled. Bellsprout used Razor Leaf on all those stones. Bellsprout used his Razor Leaf on the stone and cut them apart. But this attack was just a smokescreen, as it was covered in blue aura. "Good job, Curlia, you got him with Psychic. Now then, pick him up and throw him." The attack worked, as Ashley did not have time to react, and her Bellsprout was thrown halfway across the battlefield. The attack did a lot of damage, as Bellsprout was having a hard time getting up. Naruto, seeing this, went in for the kill. Curlia used Psychic one more time and sent Bellsprout out of the battlefield. Once more, Bellsprout was covered in blue and was again thrown. And this time it did not get up. Gary, seeing this, said, "Bellsprout is unable to battle. Naruto wins." And with that, Naruto jumped up and gave a yell of victory as Curlia jumped into his arms. Ashley walked up her Bellsprout and said, "Good job, you take a rest." She then put Bellsprout in its Pokeball. From there she walked up to Naruto, who was being hugged by May and patted on the back by Tracy, Gary and Keitaro, and said, "Good job on the battle," as she extended her hand. Naruto gladly took it in his and said, "You too, I enjoyed it." From there the group of teens talked until Professor Oak came out of the home and said, "Hey kids, Delia just called and the food is done." "Alright, ramen, I have not had that in a long time," he said as he ran off, with others following, with May saying, "Naruto, you do not know where Miss Ketchum lives." And so with another day, Naruto had more friends and is becoming more open about his past. It just goes to show you that you never know what will happen on a Pokemon journey. What waits for our heroes, who knows, but they will face it together. End of Chapter 7. Chapter 8. Naruto's first party and the road to pewter. After leaving the lab, we find our group going to the Ketchum residence with May and Ashley leading them. "Naruto, next time think before you act, okay," said May as she scolded Naruto, who had run halfway out of town when the rest of them caught him and told him was going the wrong way. "I said I was sorry and I was hungry." "Still that does not," said May as the two continued to argue. The rest of the group just sighed as they walked on. Soon the group got to the Ketchum home, where Miss Ketchum was waiting. "Come on everyone, let's go to the back, that is where I have the food." And with that the group followed Delia around the back of the Ketchum home. Once around the back they noticed 8 tables set up with food. As they looked at the food, people came out from under the table and said, "Surprise, Naruto, welcome to server." Naruto, seeing this, was surprised and asked, "What is all of this?" It's called a party. It's to welcome you to server and to show you that we accept you as a person and that you're not a monster," said Delia as she hugged Naruto from behind. "So Naruboy, what do you think of your party?" said Gary to his new friend. "Yes, Naruto, is it the best party you ever had?" said Mei. "I would have to say yes, as it is the only one I have ever had," said Naruto. At this, the gathered group looked down as they realized now how much Naruto was mistreated by his old home village, and that thing they take for granted like friends and parties he never got. They were soon, however, were brought out of their thoughts by Naruto. "But I am very glad my first party ever is being done by my first ever real friends, and by a town of understanding folks. It makes me glad that I picked server for my new start," said Naruto as he bowed and then said, "Thank you all of you for this, you honor me with your friendship," he said as he then said, "Let's get this party started." From there the party started. There was music being played on a CD player from two of server's greatest bands, Alvin and the Pokemasters and the Pokematerettes. As the party continued with people talking about the last Pokemon League that was held or about the nice summer weather and the next concert from Alvin and the Pokemasters, as for Naruto, he found himself surrounded by 15 kids ranging in age from 3 to 8. They were asking what it was like to raise himself and how he made money. Naruto, not seeing any reason to keep that he was ninja a secret, he told them he was a ninja. After he told them what a ninja could do, the kids asked if he could show them. Naruto was just fine with that. "Alright, here is one move I am known for, Shadow Clone Jutsu," said Naruto as 5 clones appeared. The kids seeing this were saying things like, "Cool. Can you teach me that?" and stuff like that. Watching them are Mei and Ashley, who had become fast friends. They are talking about if they were seeing anyone. "So Ashley, are you seeing anyone?" said Mei. At hearing that, Ashley blushed. Mei seeing that knew she was. "You are okay, Spill. Who is he?" said Mei. "Yes, I am, and she is a gym leader. Her name is Motoko," said Ashley as she looked at Mei. "That's nice. Is she cute?" said Mei. "She is, and she is also a very strong Pokemon trainer," said Ashley. "I hope it works out," said Mei. "Me too, but enough about me. What about you and Naruto? Are you two seeing each other?" said Ashley. "We're just friends," said Mei as she blushed when she thought of Naruto. "I think you want to be more than that with that blush," said Ashley. "It's not like that. Not that I can't blame you. He is good looking and has a strong heart and soul," said Ashley. "Alright, I do love him and have since we first meet, but I cannot tell him yet, as he is still hurting inside, and telling him now, well, is a bad idea." "Why would it be a bad idea?" "Because Naruto still has a problem with people liking him, plus he still has trouble showing his feelings. So I will wait for him to get used to having kindness shown to him," said Mei. As that was going on, Oak and Delia had gone back into Oak's lab, where they are now calling Professor Stone to talk about Naruto. After a few minutes they are talking to Professor Stone. "Hello there, Professor Oak, what can I do for you and this lovely lady?" said Stone. "I have just met Naruto and Delia, the lady next to me, and I heard his story, and we want to help him, but we need to know what you have planned first. Also, what do you know of land and ninjas, from where Naruto comes from and where they stand against Pokemon?" said Oak. "Well," said Professor Stone, he told them his plans as well as about the ninjas. Like whom he was going to ask to be his parents, and how he was working on getting Naruto's citizenship on server. He next told them of the laws of the place where Naruto came from, as well as the power level of the ninjas and where they would be against Pokemon. At the end of the explanation, Professor Stone said, "And that is the plan. I'll ask the two if they will be his parents soon, and as for the citizenship on server, I'll call Lady Hina and Princess Asuna and Queen Erika to help me get it." "That sounds like a good plan. As for me, I will start working on a way to have criminal charges brought up on anyone from the leaf that comes here," said Oak. "I will write a letter to my friend Queen Serenity and ask her if she can make an uncommon to the rest of server, as I think it would be for the best," said Delia as she thought of her best friend that was more than just a friend. "Yes, that is a good idea, Delia," said Oak. "Yes, it is. Now then, I must go. I have much to do if I am to get everything ready for Naruto's new family," said Stone as he cut the comm. After he was gone, Oak had an idea. "Delia, I am going to give Naruto a Pokemon I think will be a big help to him," said Oak. "That's a good idea, but what is this Pokemon?" "It's a Gyarados." "Why a Gyarados, Oak?" "It will be a good protector if anyone from the leaf ever comes after him. Because from what I have gathered, the one I have is as strong as a Hokage," said Oak as he went to his Pokeball rack and got the Pokeball with the Gyarados inside it. He then released it from its Pokeball so he could talk to it about Naruto. Once it was out, he started to talk to it. Gyarados, my strong friend, I need your help. A young boy needs your help, said Oak as he told the Gyarados about Naruto and his life and that he wanted to have Gyarados be his protector from the Leaf and the Hunter Ninjas. At the end of the story, Gyarados was angry and roared with its anger. This told Oak that Gyarados would protect Naruto from danger, and with that he put the strong Pokemon back into its Pokeball. After that, Oak and Delia went back out to the party where they saw Naruto playing with the kids. He was on the ground with them on him, and he was laughing up a storm. The two were glad that Naruto was having a good time. 4 hours later the party was over and everyone was gone, even Gary and Ashley. Gary had to go back to his lab and Ashley had to get back on her journey. But before they left, both told Naruto that if he ever needed them to call them on their cell phones that they had give Naruto their numbers too. With Naruto doing them same with his that he had gotten as a gift from Professor Stone. After they were gone, Naruto and his friends were about to leave as Naruto wanted to get as far as they could before nightfall. Oak gave Naruto his new Pokemon. Naruto, I have a new Pokemon for to help you on your Pokemon journey, said Oak as he gave Naruto his new Pokemon. What is it? Said Naruto. Send it out and see. Alright, go Pokeball, said Naruto as he tossed the Pokeball. From the Pokeball came Gyarados. The Gyarados, after it was out, looked at Naruto and saw that Oak was right. He was a boy that saw a lot of hate and hardship and was going to need him. Thank you for the Gyarados, I love it, said Naruto as he put the Gyarados back into its Pokeba. Once that was done and Mei had put her name on the sign-up sheet for the Pokemon Coordinator competition in Kanto, the three friends left the small town. But not before Naruto got a hug from Delia, a pat on the back from Tracy, and a hug from Oak. After they were gone, three of them went about their plans to help Naruto, and to make sure that anyone from Leaf that came here was going to get a warm welcome from everyone, one server that they would never forget. On the road the three friends walk along. As they walked along, Naruto was very excited both from the party that he got, and his first gym battle. He was so happy he picked up his speed and was now in front of his friends. Mei and Keitaro were also happy seeing Naruto. Happy seeing this, both made a vow to protect Naruto. If anyone ever came to server from Leaf to take Naruto, they would be sorry. Come on you two, I got a Pokemon gym battle to win and a badge to get and I can't wait, yelled Naruto with excitement back at his friends as he continued to run. We're coming, Naruto, wait up, said Mei as she ran to keep up with Naruto, with Keitaro doing the same. And so as our three heroes run to Naruto's first Pokemon gym battle, wait, new thing await them. I don't know, but I do know one thing for sure, Naruto's Pokemon journey is just getting started. And Chapter 8. Chapter 9. Battle in the Forest in Pewter City. 2 days later we find Naruto and his two friends at Viridian City at the site's Pokemon Center. It's 8 a.m. and the three friends are having breastfests in the center's cafeteria. Naruto was having bacon and fried eggs with orange juice. Mei was eating a bowl of fruit with a glass of orange juice. As for Keitaro, he was having toast with grape jam and coffee. As they ate, they talked about the next part of their trip. It should take us 3 days to get through the Viridian Forest from here, said Mei. Yes, and another 2 from there to get to Pewter City, said Keitaro. So a total of 5 days or so to get there then, said Naruto. Yes, we should leave right after we eat to give us a good head start, said Keitaro. Good idea, I want it to be a good ways away by nightfall anyways, said Naruto as he thought of his first gym battle. About a half an hour later Naruto and his friends left the Pokemon Center and Viridian City and were now in the forest outside the city. As they walked along, Mei had some questions for Naruto. Hey Naruto, can I ask you something? Said Mei as she looked at Naruto. Sure, Mei, said Naruto as he looked at Mei. You told us of how the village treated you, but was there anyone you cared for at all, anyone you miss? Naruto stopped at hearing Mei's question. The other two also stop as they wait to see if Naruto will answer or not. After a while Mei starts to talk to him as she thinks he is mad at her. Naruto, I am sorry I asked, I was just... It's okay Mei, I'm not mad, I was just taken back by your question is all, Mei. Still, I am sorry, just forget about it. No, it's fine, there were 4 people that I liked in the village. They were Tsunade, Jiraiya, Ayame Naichan and her dad Old Man Tuchi, said Naruto as he thought about the only ones in the village that liked him for him as he thought this. Not like Yurika that pitied me for having it bad just like him as a kid, or Hinata that was just a fangirl and just wanted me for her bed. Tsunade is the leader of the village. I saved her when we meet, and from there we got closer. Jiraiya was the first to take real interest in me, for me, not because he pitied me. The last two ran the local ramen shop and were never mean to me. In fact, they treated me like family, and I do miss them," said Naruto with a smile. Both Mei and Keitaro smiled at hearing this. "I used to miss them a lot, but not as much now that I have you two, Gary, Ashley, Miss Ketchum, Professor Oak and Stone, and the people of Pallet Town to make me feel welcome here on server," said Naruto. "We're glad to hear it, Naruto," said Mei. "Me too," said Keitaro. "Now then, let's get going," said Naruto as he ran on ahead of his friends. "Hey, wait up," said Mei, running after him. Keitaro just smiled and followed them. But little did they know was that they were being followed by a man and a woman. "Cassidy, we should attack them after getting out of the forest," said the man to his female companion. "But this is right now a great time to attack them. The forest give us great cover for our attack on that boy to get his Vulpix," said Cassidy to her male companion Bit. "I guess you're right, Cassidy, and the name is Butch," said Butch. "I always thought it was Brick. ZHG. I'll kill you," said Brick as he tried to throw the computer but could not. "Sorry, ZHG. Whatever, we attack when they rest for the night, or when they rest," said Cassidy. "Sounds good." And with that, the two Team Rocket members continued to follow Naruto and his friends. Some time later, Naruto and his friends run into a wild Pikachu. "Cool, a Pikachu, it's just what I need for the battle in Cerulean City, as I remember that they use water Pokemon," said Naruto. "Do you two mind if I battle this Pokemon and catch it?" "I don't mind at all, Naruto," said Mei. "Same here, Naruto, go for it," said Keitaro. "Thanks, you two, really?" said Naruto as he stepped towards the Pokemon. "Come on out, Vulpix, time to do battle," said Naruto as he tossed the Pokeball with Vulpix in it. "Vulpix," said Vulpix as it came out of the Pokeball. "Vulpix, I want you to use Tackle Attack on that Pikachu." "Vulpix," said the Pokemon as it launched its attack. The wild Pikachu, seeing the attack, used Double Team to avoid the attack, and then it used Thunderbolt on Vulpix. But Naruto, seeing that, yelled out, "Vulpix, use your fire attack to block that Thunderblot." Vulpix, hearing that order, used the attack. Both attacks hit head-on and exploded, covering the area and Vulpix with smoke, making it hard to see. Then out of the smoke came Vulpix, who used a Tackle Attack on the Pikachu that was caught by surprise as it was not ready for the attack. The attack was a fallback move made by Naruto if two attacks did something just like this, so he would not have to call out an attack and use that as a surprise. And just as Naruto thought, it worked, as the wild Pikachu was caught off guard by the move, and using it to his advantage, he yelled out, "Vulpix, use fire attack before that Pikachu can counter-attack." "Vulpix," said Vulpix as it launched its fire attack. The attack hit the already stunned Pikachu, doing a lot of damage. "Alright, this is it," said Naruto as he got out a Pokeball and then tossed it at the Pikachu. The Pokeball hit the Pikachu and it was turned into red energy. The Pikachu then went into the Pokeball. Naruto then watched as the Pokeball moved around as the Pokemon inside it tried to get out. But after a few seconds, the Pokeball stopped moving as the Pokemon inside gave up. Naruto, seeing this, said, "Yes, I got a Pikachu." He then walked up to his Pokeball. He then grabs it and puts it on his belt next to his other Pokemon. He then calls back his Vulpix. "Good job, Vulpix, take a good rest now," Naruto said after the Vulpix was back in its Pokeball. "Well, that was a good bit of battling there, Naruto, with the surprise move you used," said Keitaro as he and Mei walked up to him. "Yeah, Naruto, it was great," said Mei. "Thanks, you too," said Naruto as he then said, "Well, should we get going?" "Yeah, let's go," said Keitaro. And with that, the three left the area, but little did they know but the sounds of Naruto's Pokemon battle had gotten noticed by a young man in samurai armor in another area of the forest. "It seems like there is a Pokemon trainer in the woods and I must fight him, or her," he said as he left his area. But not only did he notice the sounds of battle, but the two Team Rocket members also did. "Did you hear that, Cassidy?" said Butch. "Yes, I did. That kid must have battled. He will have weak Pokemon, and he and his friends have no idea we're here. Now is the best time to attack him and them," said Cassidy. And with that, the two of them took off for the area they thought Naruto would be. Back with Naruto and friends, they are walking along when, "Hold it right there," said a young male voice in the trees. Who said that? Show yourself, said May as she and the others looked around for the source of the voice. I did, said the male voice as it came out from behind some trees in front of them. Who are you? Said Keitaro as he and his friends looked at the male. He had on full samurai armor with helmet, and a katana on his back. His eyes are black, and what little hair they could see because of his helmet was black. I am Alex Aoyama. I am a Pokemon samurai born in these woods, son of Tsuruko Aoyama, Pokemon samurai, and Char Esnable Aoyama. I am one that lives by the code of the Pokemon warrior. To fight with honor and strength, and to fight for what is right and good, to fight evil in all forms, and to help all in need, both human and Pokemon alike, said Alex. Now then, who are you three, if I may ask? I am Naruto, a Pokemon trainer from Star City. I train to be both the best Pokemon trainer around and to find my path in life and make true friends, said Naruto, and also to better understand my Pokemon. I am May Timber, a Pokemon coordinator from Petalburg City, daughter of the Petalburg City gym leader Norman, husband of Caroline, one-time Hoenn Pokemon coordinator champ and big sister to Max Pokemon trainer, said May. I am Keitaro Urashima, a Pokemon archaeologist from Hinata-so, son of Dan Urashima, captain in the Pokemon Rangers in the Hinata-so area. Mother is Shizuna, a Pokemon DR, older brother to Kanako, Pokemon trainer / impressionist, said Keitaro. It is an honor to meet you three, said Alex. Same here, but why are you here? Said Naruto. I am here to fight the one that earlier caused all the noise a little while ago to a Pokemon battle to test my strength. So which one of you is the one I wish to fight? I am the one you wish to do battle with, said Naruto, and I accept your challenge, Alex. Good, then let us do battle, Naruto, said Alex. Yeah, hey Keitaro, will you referee this battle? Said Naruto. Sure thing, said Keitaro. Once he was between the two, Keitaro said this. This is a one-on-one Pokemon battle, and to win you must beat the other Pokemon. With that, both Pokemon trainers tossed a Pokeball. Come out, Vulpix, you must battle one more time, said Naruto as he tossed Vulpix's Pokeball. Vulpix, said his Pokemon as it came out of its Pokeball. Time to fight with honor, Scyther, said Alex as he tossed the Pokeball with his Scyther. Scyther, said Scyther as it came out. Your Scyther looks strong, said Naruto. Thank you, so does your Vulpix, said Alex. Now then, let us start the battle. Yeah, said Naruto. Scyther, use quick attack, said Alex. Scyther, hearing that, launched its attack on Vulpix. Vulpix, jump into the air and use fire attack, said Naruto. Vulpix did as it was told, and not too soon as Scyther was right on top of her. Once she was a good height in the air, she used her attack. Alex, seeing that, said, Scyther, used double team and the cut. Scyther did as it was told and used double team, which caused fire attack to miss. It then used cut on Vulpix, who had just landed. Naruto, seeing it coming, said, Vulpix, use tackle attack and block it. Vulpix did as she was told and hit cut with her attack. Both attacks hit and both Pokemon were then thrown back. Both were hurt a little, but not enough to take Ether out of the fight. Not bad, your Pokemon is strong, said Alex. Yours too, said Naruto. Scyther, use cut once more time to end this in one more attack. What do you say, Naruto, you game? Said Alex. Yeah, I am. Vulpix, use tackle attack, let's finish this, said Naruto. With that, both Pokemon charged at each other. Soon both attacks hit each other. The force of the attacks sent both away from each other and into the ground. Both were having a hard time getting up. Get up, Vulpix, said Naruto. You can win. Scyther, come on, stand up, said Alex. We can win this. Both still tried to get up, but as both were about to get up, they passed out, making the battle a draw between Alex and Naruto. Both Vulpix and Scyther are knocked out. This battle is draw, said Keitaro. After that, both Alex and Naruto walked up to their Pokemon and picked them up. Good job, Vulpix, you take a long rest, you deserve it, said Naruto as he put Vulpix back into her Pokeball. Nice work, Scyther, I am pleased, now rest, said Alex as he sent Scyther back to his Pokeball. After that, both walked up to each other and shook hands. That was a good match, said Naruto. Yes, it was, said Alex. And I can tell by the way you handled your Pokemon and battled we would be good friends, so wish to be friends. Yes, I would, said Naruto. Good, now then I would be honored if you and your friends would join me for lunch at my cabin, said Alex. Sounds nice, said May. Yeah, said Keitaro. And with that the four left to head to Alex's cabin. Little did they know but they were being followed by the two Team Rocket who had seen the battle. Soon the group arrived at Alex's home where Alex made lunch, which was made of fresh vegetables, corn on the cob with sweet onions and potatoes and carrots, and wild rice. For dessert they had apples. After lunch they all talked. As they talked, Alex asked Naruto a question. Naruto, may I ask you, when we all intrude ourselves when we meet, why did you not say who your mother or father are? Why is that? At hearing that both May and Keitaro flinched, and became worried that Naruto would become either angry or sad or both. To their shock, Naruto was not either. They could see that he looked thoughtful. The reason why is this, said Naruto as he told Alex his story. But little did they all know but the two Team Rocket's members were also listening in. As he told his tale, Alex was deep in thought as he listened, but it was not just him but both Butch and Cassidy as they looked on from a few feet away. And when I had the chance I took my life in my hands and decided to stay here on server, said Naruto as he finished his tale. After hearing his tale, Alex said, I now understand, and I have to say I am sorry I have asked you this and brought up these bad memories, he said as he bowed to Naruto. Don't be, I have let my past go. And also even thought it was bad. It made me who I am today, strong and who I am, a man that never stops fighting or let my friends get hurt if I can help it, said Naruto. Yes, I can see that, said Alex. You did not let them get you down. As they talked, both Butch and Cassidy started to talk. Man, his life was hell, but he persevered. You have got to respect that he did not let his village get him down, said Butch. Yeah, he is a strong one, said Cassidy as she looked on. Soon both looked at each other, and Cassidy said, Let's go. After hearing this, I don't have it in me to attack him right now. Same here, we'll get him next time, said Butch. And with that both left to attack Naruto and his friends another day. Back with Naruto, after talking to Alex, him and his friends said goodbye and continued on their way, and as they walked off, Alex yelled after them, Naruto, next time we meet I will be stronger. I know you will, yelled back Naruto. And with that the three friends made their way through the forest. 5 days later, 3 in the forest and 2 through fields. They made it to Pewter City. And after a stop at a Pokémon Center to heal up, Naruto made his way to the Pewter City gym. When they got there, they saw a sign next to the Pewter City gym logo, and the leader's name Forest on the building. They read the sign. The sign read trainers that gave the leader a good battle and to win here. Gary Oak, Ash Ketchum, Max Timber, and some others. Looks like my brother was here and did well, said May, seeing her brother's name, and not too surprising seeing Ash or Gary here. And soon me, said Naruto as he walked up the gym steps with his friends following him. Naruto is now at his first gym. Will he be able to win? Stay tuned to find out. And Chapter 9. Chapter 10. Gym Battles and Problem in Sound. Once Naruto reached the door of the gym, he entered the gym where he was greeted by a young boy at least 10 or 11. He was wearing blue shorts and a blue and white t-shirt that had horizontal strips. The boy was sitting in front of them. Seeing them, he called out to them. Hello, I am the gym leader Forest Boulder, and I use rock-type Pokémon to battle, he said. Now then, which one of you is here to fight me? That would be me, Naruto. I am the one here to challenge you for the Boulder badge, said Naruto as he stepped forward. Fine, I accept your challenge, but know this, I will not be an easy challenge, said Forest as he got out of his chair. Do you still wish to battle knowing this? Yes, I do. Then follow me, said Forest as he led Naruto and his friends to the battle area. Soon they got there, and once there, Forest took one side and Naruto the other, with one of the gym workers acting as ref. Soon both were ready to battle. This is a 2-on-2 Pokémon battle, said the ref. Go Geodude, said Forest as he sent out his Geodude. Go Vulpix, said Naruto as sent out his Vulpix. Bad move sending out a fire type, said Forest seeing that. We'll see if it was or not, said Naruto with a grin. What is Naruto doing? He knows fire is weak against rock, said Mei to Keitaro. I don't know, but if I was to guess, he has a plan, replied Keitaro. Back with the battle, Forest started the battle. Geodude use rock throw, said Forest. said Geodude as he attacked by throwing a rock. Vulpix jump over the rock and use fire attack on the ground around Geodude and circle him, said Naruto. Vulpix, said his Pokemon as it sent out its fire attack. Soon the fire encircled Geodude. Once it was encircled, Naruto then said, Vulpix full now power, turn that fire circle into a fire dome, and keep it up until I say stop, said Naruto. Vulpix did as it was told. After 1 minute Naruto told it to stop. Vulpix stop and use smoke screen now on the area around Geodude. Vulpix did as it was told and stopped using fire attack and used smoke screen. Soon smoke covered Geodude. Forest seeing this said, Geodude use rollout now to get out of that smoke and hit Vulpix that is in front of you. Geodude hearing this attack started the attack, but instead of moving forward out of the smoke it shot out the left side of the smoke screen at even more speed than a normal rollout attack should have and hit a group of large rocks on that side, doing a lot of damage to the rock-type Pokemon. Everyone seeing this was shocked except Naruto, who was smiling. Soon Forest got over his shock and said, What happened? Easy look at where that fire attack was and you'll find out, said Naruto. With that, Forest, May and Keitaro looked at where that minute-long fire attack was and waited for the smoke to clear. As the smoke cleared, they say something shining through. When the smoke was fully cleared, they saw that the shining was coming from glass that was right where the fire attack hit. How did that glass get there? Said Forest as he voiced his and May and Keitaro thoughts. The fire attack I used, said Naruto. You see, when I saw the sand on the ground and saw that you were using a Geodude, you see I did some research on you and knew that he knew rollout. I knew that there was a 90% chance that if I did what I did you would use rollout. And even though rollout is a strong move and almost unstoppable, I know a few ways around it. And they are? Said Forest. One way is to keep on dogging, but that will wear out my Pokemon first before yours is out of strength. The second is to make its attack miss in the first attack. This is what I did. The glass made it impossible for your Geodude to get a grip on the ground. So when you attacked, it could not control where it would go. It hitting the rock was a bonus. That I will use to win. Very good, but I will still win this fight, said Forest. Well, see, said Naruto. Vulpix end this now while Geodude is still confused. Jump high into the air and then use tackle as you come down. Vulpix did as it was told and hit the Geodude before it was able to move. The attack hit, knocking out the rock Pokemon. Geodude is unable to battle. Winner of the first match is Vulpix, said the ref gym worker. Geodude return, said Forest as he recalled his Pokemon. You did great, friend, take a good long rest. As he was doing that, Naruto was talking to Vulpix. Vulpix, do you still want to fight? Vulpix shook its head yes. Alright. Not bad, Naruto, but my next Pokemon will not lose, said Forest as he grabs a Pokeball of his belt. Come out, Steelix, time for battle. Soon the steel Pokemon was on the field. Nice Steelix you have there, said Naruto. Thank you, said Forest. Now then, let's start this round. Right, Steelix, use Iron Tail on Vulpix. Steelix hearing the command used the powerful move. Vulpix jump over the Iron Tail and use fire attack on both sides of Steelix, said Naruto. Vulpix did as it was told and jumped over the attack and then used 2 streams of fire on both sides, leavening a trail of burnt dirt behind. Good job, Vulpix, said Naruto, seeing the little bit of smoke coming from where the attack hit. What was the point of that attack? Said Forest. You missed Steelix, and I don't see anything that would be a problem. I have a plan, just like one of my so-called teachers once said. Look underneath the underneath, said Naruto. Good advice to go by, said Keitaro, already getting the meaning behind the words. What does it mean, Keitaro? Said May. I sort of understand it, but not fully. It means to look beyond what you see, as things may not seem what they seem. That is the first underneath. The next one means to look even further, said Keitaro. Thank you, Keitaro, said May. Soon both turned back to the battle as they heard Naruto order more fire attacks on the ground. Back with the battle, Naruto had Vulpix use fire attack 5 more times. As he did that, Forest had Steelix not attack, as he was wondering what was going on. What is he doing? Why is he just hitting the ground? It's like he is trying to set the ground on fire, but all he is getting is some smoke, thought Forest. I know what you're planning, Naruto, and I will stop you before you get that far, said Forest. Really now? Said Naruto. Yes, I do. So tell me, what am I planning? Your plan is to use the smoke left over from where your fire attacks hit to get the sprinklers to turn on, but I see one problem with that, though. Your Vulpix would also be hurt by this. That is my plan, and as for Vulpix, I would have her hide under one of the rocks that jet out, said Naruto. Forest was about to reply when lights turned on around them. What's going on? Said Mei as she and the others were somewhat blinded by the lights. Prepare for trouble, said woman's voice that Naruto and his friends knew. And make it double, said a male voice that they too also knew. To infect the world would with devastation, said the woman's voice again. To blight all peoples in every nation, said the male. To denounce the goodness of truth and love, said the woman's. To extend our wrath to the stars above, said the male. And just as he said that, the lights dimmed, showing them Cassidy, said Cassidy. Butch, said Butch. Team Rocket circles the world at the speed of light, said Cassidy. Surrender now or you will surely lose the fight, said Butch. Team Rocket, said Naruto and his friends along with Forest as he saw the red R's won their chests. That's right, little man, said Cassidy. Cassidy, what do you and Butch want? Said Naruto as he was then hugged by Butch, who had somehow gotten in front of him as he said. Thank you, Naruto, you remembered my name, said Butch as he let go of Naruto with anime tears in his eyes. Now that Butch is done, we are here for your Vulpix, said Cassidy. I don't think so, said Naruto. Yeah, well, let you take Vulpix, said Mei, getting one of her Pokeballs. You two made a mistake coming here, said Keitaro, getting one of his Pokeballs. I will not let Team Rocket take a Pokemon while in my gym, said Forest, getting ready to have Steelix attack. Haha, just try and stop us, said Cassidy as she brought out a remote and pressed a button on it. This caused the sprinklers to go off, getting both Steelix and Vulpix wet, doing a lot of damage to both. Seeing this, Forest ran up to Steelix. Naruto was going to run up to Vulpix, but Gligar blocked his way. Seeing this, Naruto called out his Kirlia. Kirlia, I need your help, said Naruto as he sent out his Pokemon. Soon in front of him his Kirlia appeared. Kirlia, hold off Gligar while I help out Vulpix, said Naruto as he continued on while Kirlia fought Gligar. Elsewhere, Mei and her Beautifly and Kitaro's Firo are battling Cassidy's Houndoom. As that was going, both Butch and Cassidy were going towards the downed Vulpix. As they got near, Cassidy sent out Krogunk. Krogunk used Poison Jab on Vulpix, said Cassidy. Krogunk, hearing this, went to do the move to the downed Vulpix. Just as it was about to hit, Naruto got in the way of the attack, taking the hit for his Pokemon. Naruto let out a blood-curtailing scream as he falls to the ground. The battle stopped as everyone heard it. They all looked and saw Naruto getting hit by the poison jab. Mei, seeing that, yelled, Naruto! Seeing what Naruto did, both Butch and Cassidy stopped moving towards Vulpix, as they never thought Naruto, or anyone for that matter, would get in front of a full-power poison jab. As a full-power jab would just hurt a Pokemon, but well, if not given treatment, will kill a human. Vulpix and Kirlia, who had come over after seeing the attack, were standing over Naruto. Both Pokemon had worried looks on their faces and tears in their eyes. Hey, you two don't look like that. I will be fine, said Naruto as he coughed up some blood before passing out from the poison jab. Vulpix, seeing this, started to nuzzle Naruto as she felt it was her fault he was hurt, and soon passed out. But as for Kirlia, she had turned around and was looking at the still stunned Team Rocket. She had a look of anger in her eyes even as tears come down her face. Kirlia, 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 she yelled her name at the two Team Rocket members. She then started to glow, blinding everyone, and when the glow faded and in the places where Kirlia once was, now was a much bigger Pokemon. It then said, Gardevoir, said the now evolved Gardevoir. What? Kirlia evolved into Gardevoir. Awesome, said Mei, seeing her. But who? Said both Cassidy and Butch as they looked at the powerful Pokemon. It must have been the stress of Naruto getting hurt that made her evolve into Gardevoir, said Keitaro. Everyone then looked on as Gardevoir floated up higher, and her eyes started to glow. They watched as the both Team Rocket's members began to float along with their Pokemon. Gardevoir, yelled Gardevoir as she used Psychic to throw them out through the roof of the gym. She then headed back to Naruto and started to glow once more, and around Naruto and Vulpix a thing of blue energy appeared. What's Gardevoir doing to Naruto and Vulpix? Said Mei. She's using Healing Wish on them, said Keitaro, seeing the move once before. Soon the wounds on both Naruto and Vulpix were going away. Soon both were healed, but Gardevoir passed out from everything that happened. After she was out, May, Forest, and Keitaro, who recalled their Pokémon, walked over to the three and started to check them out. "How are they doing, Keitaro?" said a worried May. "They're just fine. Healing Wish cured the poison in Naruto, and healed him along. Vulpix and Gardevoir is just worn out, but they will all be fine after a good rest," said Keitaro. "Hey, they can rest at my family's home," said Forest as he picked up Gardevoir. "Thank you, Forest," said May as he picked up Vulpix. "Yes, thank you," said Keitaro as he picked up Naruto. And with that they left the gym. Soon the group arrived at Forest's family's home. "Mom, Dad, I need some help," called out Forest. Soon the front door of the home opened, and out came 8 kids that looked a lot like Forest, and 2 adults, a man and a woman. The man looked a lot like Forest. His name is Flint, and the woman had brown hair, brown eyes. Lola. "Forest, what happened?" said Lola as she ran up to them along with Flint. "Yes, son, what happened?" said Flint as he looked over Naruto. "I'll tell you once we get these 3 inside," said Forest. From there they all went inside, where they placed Naruto and his 2 Pokémon in Forest's room on his bed. From there they all left the room and headed for the living room, where they all sat down. "Okay, son, what happened to that boy and his Pokémon?" said Flint. It started to tell them what happened in the gym. "And that is what happened," said Forest. "That is amazing, son, but alas, things were okay," said Lola. "Yeah, things could have been real bad if not for Curly evolving into Gardevoir," said Flint. "Now I think I will start making dinner. And by the time it's ready, Naruto and his Pokémon should be up," said Lola as she went into the kitchen. And with that the rest started to talk as they waited for Naruto to get up and dinner. As this was going on elsewhere back in the elemental countries in the village of Sound in Orochimaru's lab, we find the man getting ready to do a test of a new Justu. "I may have failed last time to do this, but not this time," said Orochimaru as he stared to do hand signs. "Full life returned Minato and Kushina," said Orochimaru as a flash of white light appeared in front of him. When the light faded, the fourth and his wife were standing there. "Where am I?" said Minato. "What's going on?" said Kushina. "Kushina, is that you?" said Minato as he looked at her. "Minato, it is, but how are we alive?" said Kushina as she ran to him and hugged him. "I don't know, all I remember is sealing the fox in our son," said Minato. "I remember giving him to you. But that still does not tell us how we came back to life, or where we are, or how long we've been dead," said Minato. "You have me to thank for your reunion. And you're in May Village, and it has been 13 years since you both died," said Orochimaru, making himself known. Both hearing his voice turned to look at him. "Orochimaru, I should have guessed our being back was because of you," said Minato. "And we should have known you would betray the leaf," said Kushina. "Yeah, you should have, but you didn't." "What are you going to do with us?" said Minato. "I am going to have you both help me destroy the leaf." "Yeah, right, like we would help you do that," said Kushina. "You both have no choice in this. I now have control over both of you since I brought you both back." "I don't think so," said Minato as he powered up his Rasengan and began to walk towards Orochimaru. "I guess I will just have to show you. Minato, I command you to stop," said Orochimaru with a smug look on his face. But that look soon went away as Minato did not stop. "Looks like you were wrong," said Minato as he continued to advance on Orochimaru. "And oh, I command you to stop," yelled the now terrified Orochimaru as he then looked at Kushina. "Kushina, I order you to attack Minato." But just like with Minato, nothing happened. "Looks like you have no control over me too, just like I thought," said Kushina. "Wait," I tried to say Orochimaru, but never finished as the Rasengan went through him, killing him. This also drought several sound ninjas in, and one happened to be Sasuke, who, seeing Orochimaru dead, got mad as to him there went his chance to kill his brother. "Hey, how dare kill Orochimaru, he was my ticket to kill my brother Itachi," yelled Sasuke. "Wait, Itachi's your brother, that means you're from the leaf?" said Kushina. "Yes, I was until I left them," said Sasuke. "Well, guess what, you're going back with us," said Minato. "Yeah, right, like a couple of commoners will be able to beat an Uchiha," said Sasuke. And with that he and the 5 other ninjas got ready to attack, but before they could act, Minato was on top of them. He killed the 5 sound ninjas and Kushina kicked out Sasuke by hitting him in his jaw, breaking it, then in his chest, breaking 3 ribs. After that the two headed out of the lab with Sasuke on Kushina's back. As they left the village they destroyed it, making sure it would never be able to hurt the leaf. As they left the burning sound village they started to talk. "I can't wait to see Naruto, I bet he is a strong ninja," said Minato. "Yeah, but I hope he is not too spoiled by the village for being the hero of the village," said Kushina. "Me too, dear," said Minato. And with that they continued on to the leaf. Back on server, Naruto had woken up. "Where am I?" he said as he heard something moving next to him. He turned to look and saw his Vulpix, and was then surprised by seeing a Gardevoir next to him. "What, this Kirlia has evolved into a Gardevoir?" Vulpix and Gardevoir, hearing his voice, woke up. "Hey you two, are you both okay?" said Naruto. Both nodded yes. But both gave a look that Naruto understood as them asking if he was okay. "And I am just fine, you two," said Naruto as he hugged high 2 Pokemon but saw that Vulpix looked sad. "Vulpix, what's wrong?" said Naruto. "Vulpix, said Vulpix. "It's not your fault, Vulpix, that I got hurt," said Naruto. Vulpix, said Vulpix. "I chose to get in the way, you're my Pokemon, and no one will take you or Gardevoir or any of my other Pokemon away," said Naruto. "And I want to hear no more of this, okay?" "Vulpix," said Vulpix, now happy. "Now let's see where we are," said Naruto as he and his Pokemon left the room. Once outside the room, Naruto heard voices. Headed to them, he found his friends Forest, and from what he could see, Forest's family all sitting down in what looked like a living room. "Hey everyone," said Naruto, getting everyone attention on him. "Naruto," said Mei as she ran up to Naruto and hugged him. "Hey Mei," said Naruto, returning the hug. "Are you alright?" said Keitaro, coming up to his friend. "Yeah, just fine," said Naruto. "I guess we're in Forest's parents' home?" "Yes, we brought you here after you got hurt," said Mei as she finally let Naruto go. "Thank you, you three," said Naruto. "Hey Naruto, I have something for you," said Forest as he came up to Naruto. "What is it, Forest?" said Naruto. "The boulder badge," said Forest as he held out the badge. "Why, I did not win the last battle," said Naruto. "That may be so, but you showed you have what it takes to have it," said Forest. "I don't get it, I thought I had to win the battle to get the badge," said Naruto. "Yes and no, if you win you get the badge, but every gym leader job is to also see if the trainer they battle is a good trainer, that he loves his or her Pokemon, they are a good team, that they love each other. That is the other way they can get the badge," said Forest. "Sorry, I am glad I meet the standards for getting it this, but I want to battle you for it," said Naruto. "How about this, you keep it, and we battle just for fun next time," said Forest. "Alright, I guess that's fine," said Naruto as he took the badge. "Yes, I got the boulder badge," said Naruto as his 2 Pokemon jumped behind him. From there, Lola called them all to dinner. After dinner they all went to bed. When morning came around and after Naruto and his friends had breakfast, they left the Boulder family home, with both Naruto and Forest promising to battle next time Naruto is in town. Once they were done talking, they continued on the road. Naruto has gotten his first gym badge and he is now going to Cerulean City and his next battle. But what will happen in the leaf now that both his parents are back? Who knows, but I'm willing to bet that thing for both Naruto and his friends and his parents are going to get interesting. End of Chapter 10. Chapter 11. The Grass Pokemon Trouble. It was 2 days after Naruto had gotten his badge and he and his friends are now walking through the forest north of Pewter City. "So Keitaro, at this pace how much longer to Cerulean City?" said an excited Mei as Cerulean City had the first contest for Mei along with Naruto's gym battle. "I would say 1 day to get to Empty Moon and 1 day to get through, then 3 days after we're through to get to Cerulean City at this pace," said Keitaro. "That not so long," said Naruto. "So Mei, what Pokemon will you use in the contest?" "I don't know, maybe Glaceon then Blaziken," said Mei. "How about you Naruto, what Pokemon will you use in your gym battle?" "Well, Pikachu for sure and maybe Gardevoir, but I am not sure on that," said Naruto. With the three still continued walking. About 3 hours later, the three came to a rest area/park for trainers that had a small stream next to it, and seeing as it was 1 p.m., they decided to stop and have lunch here. They decided to have fish from the stream as the rest area/park had a few of those grills that you find in picnic areas. It was decided that Keitaro would get the fish while Mei got the area where they would set ready and Naruto would gather firewood from the forest. Naruto is picking up a few small branches in the woods about 200 yards away from camp. As he picks up the branches, he hears some movement coming from a bush to his left side. So turning towards it, he sees an object hit him square in the chest, knocking him to the ground. The hit also closed his eyes. "Hey, watch where you're going," said a female voice. "Me, you're the one that ran into me," said Naruto as he opened his eyes looking for the girl that voice belonged to. But when he opened his eyes, he saw no girl, just a small Pokémon. It was white with a green top with a few flowers on it. "Still, you should have been more careful," said the voice. "No, you should have. Now where are you? If you are going to say this is my fault, you should be here, girl," said Naruto as he got up while holding the Pokémon. "Then never, I am right here in your arms, you fool," said the voice, now angry. "Yeah, right, a Pokémon is in my arms, not a girl." "I am a Pokémon, you fool," said the Pokémon Naruto is holding. "What?" said Naruto, now looking at the Pokémon in his arms. "But how?" "It's telepathy now, apologize," sent the Pokémon. "That explains it, but I will not apologize," started to say Naruto, but the Pokémon said. "The name's Shaman," sent Shaman. "To you, Shaman, when you were not looking where you were going," said Naruto as he put the Pokémon down and walking away. "Hey, where are you going? I'm not done with you yet," sent Shaman, going after Naruto and giving him a hit in the back. "What is it?" said Naruto, turning to look at her. Know that Shaman has no gender, but in this they do. "I want you to say sorry," sent Shaman. "Well, Naruto started to say but stopped when 3 Zubats came out of the trees. "They found me," sent Shaman as she hides behind Naruto. "Who found you?" said Naruto, looking at her. "Them," Shaman sent, looking at 2 females. One has blonde hair and red eyes. She is wearing black pants with a black tank top with some pink on them. The other female has blue-gray hair and red eyes. She is wearing the same as the other girl, but there is purple where the other has pink. "Who are you two?" asked Naruto. "I am Annie," said the girl with blonde hair. "And I am her younger sister, Oakley." "And we're from Team Rocket," said both. "And we will be taking that Shaman now," said Annie. "Please don't let them take me," sent Shaman in a scared voice. Naruto, hearing how scared Shaman was, grabbed one of his Pokeball. "I will not let a couple of crocs like you two to take Shaman with putting up a fight," said Naruto. "Ha ha, like a little boy, like you can stop us," said Annie as she grabs a Pokeball from her belt. "Yeah, just hand over Shaman and we won't have to hurt you," said Oakley as she got ready to command the 3 Zubats. "I never abounded anyone who needs me, be they human or Pokemon, especially a friend. That is my way of the Pokemon trainer," said Naruto as he got ready to throw the Pokeball that had his Gyarados. And Shaman, who was still behind Naruto at hearing him call her friend, looked up at him and sent, "I'm really your friend." "Yes, just because we were fighting does not mean I don't think of you as a friend," said Naruto, looking at her. "Thank you," said Shaman in a whisper, now looking down. "Now then, if you want Shaman, come and get some," said Naruto as he throws his Pokeball. "Get them Gyarados." And in front of Naruto and Shaman, Gyarados gave a roar as it came out. "A Gyarados, maybe you're not just some punk kid trying to be a hero," said Annie as she tossed her Pokeball. "Go Espion, this battle is ours." Then in front of her an Espion appeared. "Zubats, get ready," said Oakley. Just as both sides were about to fight, they heard, "Naruto, we're coming to help," said Mei. Naruto and Shaman and the 2 Team Rocket members turned to see Mei and her Glacian along with Keitaro and his Arcanine coming towards them. Gyarados' roar must have gotten their attention. "Arcanine, use Flame Wheel on all 3 of those Zubats," said Keitaro as he got close. "Glacian, use Ice Beam and Espion," said Mei as she got close too. Naruto, not wanting to be left out, said, "Gyarados, use Hyper Beam on Espion, then on the 3 Zubats," said Naruto. All the Pokemon launched their attacks at the Team Rocket Pokemon. Since Mei and Keitaro appeared out of nowhere, this shocked both Annie and Oakley, as they did not expect all of this, were unable to order their Pokemon to block. The attacks hit their Pokemon, and them sending them away. After that, Naruto's two friends came up to him along with their Pokémon. Naruto, who were they? Said Mei. They were bad people and they were after me until he saved me. Sent Shaman, getting on Naruto's head, getting Kitaro's and Mei's attention. Hey Naruto, who's your friend? Said Mei, looking at the Pokémon. I am Shaman. Sent Shaman. Those two women were from Team Rocket. Said Naruto. Shaman, why is Team Rocket after you? Said Keitaro. All they said was they need me for cleaning a temple of poison gas. Sent Shaman. Did you say a temple? Said Keitaro. Yes. Sent Shaman. Did they happen to say anything else? Said Keitaro. Yeah, that they need to find 2 more keys after they got me. Sent Shaman. I knew it. Yelled Keitaro. Knew what? Said Naruto. I'll tell you all back at the rest area. Said Keitaro as he recalled his Arcanine and ran back to the rest area. Once he was gone, Mei and Naruto recalled theirs and walked back to the rest area. As they walked back, Mei asked Shaman something. Hey Shaman, can I ask you a question? Sure. Sent Shaman, still on Naruto's head. Why aren't you more scared of us? Said Mei. Well, for one, this fool saved me and you both remind me of 2 humans I met a year ago. Mei was about to ask who the 2 humans were when Naruto spoke. Hey, don't call me a fool, you small fry. Mei heard Naruto yell, then say. Hey small fry, don't pull my hair. Naruto yelled again as Shaman pulled his hair again and sent this. Don't call me small fry, you fool. Mei then watched as the 2 argued. After a few minutes, Mei said. Enough, you two. Now then, Shaman, what was the names of the 2 humans that helped you? Their names were Ash and Dawn. Sent Shaman. Hey, that's so cool, I am friends with both. Said Mei. That great. Sent Shaman. Soon the 3 arrived at the rest area where Keitaro was already sighted. Mei and Naruto also sat down with Shaman still on Naruto's head. Alright Keitaro, tell us what is going on. Said Mei. Okay, you two know that Team Rocket stole a key from a dig I was doing. Said Keitaro. You also know that the key was to open a temple to an evil Pokémon. Yeah. Said both Naruto and Mei. Well, there is more to it, and what Shaman said tells me that Team Rocket has found it. What makes you say that? Said Mei. The poison gas they want Shaman to get rid of. You see, the temple has 3 keys and each opens a room that has a trip that has to be cleared. And the first one is a poison room. That's not good, they found the temple. Said Mei. No, it's not. Said Keitaro. This Pokémon is the biggest threat to Sever, more so than any of the Pokémon gangs. Keitaro, would you please tell us more about this Pokémon? Why is it so dangerous? Said Naruto. Well, this Pokémon is said to be the Dark King of Pokémon. A Pokémon that can suck the life of anyone it touches. Its power is said to be unmatched. Said Keitaro. Then we have to stop them now. Said Naruto. No, not yet. From what Shaman said, they are still looking for the 2 other keys, and I know for a fact that they will be very hard to find as no one has looked for them, unlike the first key. Said Keitaro. But what if they find them? Said Mei. Then we stop them, but do we well know when they find one it will make the news, plus they can only open the final door at noon of the 4th day of the 4th week if the mouth. Said Keitaro. Yeah, I guess you're right. Said Naruto. Yeah, plus you have me now to help you. Said Shaman. What do you mean? Said Mei. I mean this. Said Shaman as she hit Naruto hard on the head, making one of his empty Pokeballs to hit the ground. Everyone watched in shock as Shaman jumped into the Pokeball, getting captured by it, becoming Naruto's Pokemon. Naruto then picked up the Pokeball and let his new Pokemon out. Once out, Shaman jumped on Naruto's head. Why did you do that, small fry? Said Naruto as he then yelled as Shaman pulled his hair. Because I wanted to fool, and don't call me small fry. Said Shaman. Both Mei and Keitaro watched with smiles on their faces as the 2 argued, and saw that Naruto had not just a new Pokemon but friend too. But little did they know, but not too far away, Annie and Oakley were watching them. And Annie was talking on her cell phone. Boss, we lost Shaman, but we will get her back. Said Annie over her phone. Don't bother, just find that next key. That Shaman is no longer important. Said the boss. Yes, sir. Said Annie as she hung up. Let's go, sis, the boss says to leave the Shaman. All right. Said Oakley. And with that, both left to find the next key. As that was going on in Naruto's old home, Minato, his wife, and the still knocked out Uchiha had gotten to the Leaf Village's gate. And after giving the two guards a heart attack, were going to the Hokage's office to find out what had happened while they were gone. Naruto has gotten a new Pokémon, and a fisty one at that, and has stopped Team Rocket from using her. And now that Minato and Kushina are home, what will happen? One thing's for sure, when crazy thing happen, you can bet they will come Naruto's way. End of Chapter 11. Chapter 12. Hard Truths and Lies and Empty Moon. It's 1 p.m. and at this time the streets of the Leaf Village would be place of quiet, but not right now, as word of a man and a woman that look like the fourth and his wife who is holding Sasuke are in the village. Right now Minato and Kushina are still going to the Hokage office. But soon both came to a stop as a busted blonde woman who is, from what they could see, was the Hokage, and 5 ninjas jump in front of them. Alright you two, I don't know who you think you are, but we do not take kindly to people who impersonate 2 of our village's greatest heroes, said the woman. Tsunade-bachan, is that you? Said Minato, seeing her. Yes, Tsunade-san, what are doing back in the village as the Hokage, no less? Said Kushina. Because I am the Hokage, whoever you two are, and I will make pay for disrespecting their memories like this, you Tams. We will also be taking back the Uchiha, said Tsunade as she pointed at Minato, and then said, and I will also make you pay for calling me old. It is us, Tsunade, we are back and alive, said Kushina. Yeah right, both are dead, try again, said Tsunade. It's true, Orochimaru brought us back to life, said Minato. In that case, you're even more dangerous to the village, as he has control over anyone he brings back to life, said Tsunade as she and the ninjas got ready to attack them. Tsunade, we are not under that snake's control, he somehow brought us back wrong. He tried, but we were able to act of our own will, said Minato. Prove it to me, said Tsunade. Here, take this and open it, said Kushina as she tossed Tsunade's scroll. Tsunade, not trusting them, had on of her ninjas open it. When the scroll opened, what came out shocked her and everyone around as Orochimaru's head dropped to the ground. Once getting over her shock, Tsunade used a skin move on the head to see if this was the real Orochimaru's head. This is real, this Orochimaru's head. That means you're both for real, said Tsunade as she looked at her 2 friends. See, I told you, Minato started to say, only to have Tsunade to hug him. You're both back, said Tsunade as she then hugged Kushina. After she was done, Tsunade had one of the ninjas with her take Sasuke to the prison hospital to have him looked over and to put him in a cell after that. Come, let's go back to my office, we have much to talk about, said Tsunade as she vanished in a swirl of leaves. So both did the same. Soon all 3 were in her office where they all sat down. Alright, let's hear the question that you're both dying to ask, said Tsunade looking at the 2. When can we see Naruto and how has he been doing? Said Kushina. Yeah, please tell me he has not been spoiled by this village too much, said Minato. Naruto's has just left on a 3-year training trip with Jiraiya, and as for how he has been doing, well, he's not been spoiled by the village, I can assure you of that, said Tsunade. Well, that is good thought, for sure he would be, said Minato. Me too, with how he is the hero of the village and all, said Kushina. Well, that is where you're both wrong. What do you mean, Tsunade? Said Kushina. Minato and Kushina, Naruto life after the ceiling was hell, said Tsunade. But why I said he was to be a hero of the village, said Minato. Minato, that was a very noble idea, but the villagers did not see him that way, they saw him as the fox in human form and took their hate out on him, said Tsunade. You're lying to us, Tsunade, I know these people, they would not do that, said Minato. Me too, this village's people are very understanding, said Kushina. Then don't believe me, here is the old man's diary, read the truth, said Tsunade as she handed them the 3RDS diary. Soon both were reading it. As that was going on back at the gates, Jiraiya had just gotten there after taking a fast boat from server that got him back to wave in half the time. As he got closer, the 2 guards saw him and called out to him. Lord Jiraiya, you will never guess what has happened, said one of the guards. What? The 4th and his wife are alive and back in the village, and they have also killed Orochimaru, said the other one. Are you both sure of this? Said Jiraiya. Yes, sir, they are in Tsunade's office now, said the first one. And before either could say anything, Jiraiya was gone. We find Jiraiya now leaping roof from roof as he is having a dilemma about what he should do. Should I go forward with Naruto's plan, or should I tell Minato and Kushina that he is alive and on Sever right now? If I lie to them and say he is dead, both will be devastated. But if I tell them the truth, they will want to get him back and bring him home, hurting Naruto's happiness. What to do, what to do? Jiraiya thought to himself, as he knew that no matter what he did, people were going to be hurt. He then jumped onto the street and ran the rest of the way. As he did, he heard this from a large group of villagers. Now that the fourth is back, he can finally kill the demon. Yeah, when that demon gets back, it is as good as dead. After hearing this, Jiraiya made up his mind. I will go through with Naruto's plan. I love Minato and Kushina, but right now Naruto's best interest needs to be put forth, not theirs or the village's. And with that, Jiraiya made ready to give the best lie of his life to not only Minato and Kushina but also Tsunade. Back in Tsunade's office, both parents were crying and holding each other as they had finished the diary. It's all my fault. I should have guessed that after the attack and all the people we lost that the villagers would not be so understanding, said Minato. Me too, I should have also known, said Kushina. As both cried, they heard the door to the office open. They all turned to look and saw Jiraiya walk in. Once Jiraiya was inside the office, he was rushed by all three in the office. Jiraiya, where is Naruto? I need to say I am sorry, said Minato. Jiraiya, I need my baby, I have to hold him. Where is he? Said Kushina. Jiraiya, why are you back so soon, and where is Naruto? Said Tsunade. I think you three need to sit down before I tell you anything, said Jiraiya. Once everyone was seated, Jiraiya started his lie. Alright, first I am sorry to say this, but Naruto is dead, said Jiraiya in a sad voice. At hearing this, Kushina burst into tears and Minato went into a state of shock. Tsunade was the only was able to talk but barely. How did it happen? Said Tsunade as she held her tears back. We were outside a small village when we saw a group of bandits attacking a group of farmers. Naruto, being Naruto, ran to help. As we fought them, it turned out that they worked for a few ninjas who joined in. We fought them off, but the last one was going to kill a small little girl, but Naruto saved her, but the attack killed him. Even as he died, he killed the ninja, said Jiraiya as he got out a scroll out and unsealed the clothes Naruto and him made. He then walked up to Kushina and handed her the clothes. Kushina took them and wept over them as Minato tried to comfort her. After a few minutes, Minato looked at Tsunade and said, Tsunade, call a village meeting. Yes, right away, said Tsunade as she left the room, but before she left she asked, Minato, will you and Kushina be staying in the village, and will you be retaking the title of fourth? Minato and Kushina looked at each other hearing this. Yes, we will still stay in the village. It is our home despite what it did to our son, and I will retake my place as the fourth, said Minato. Thank you both, said Tsunade as she left. After she was gone, Jiraiya looked at both and said, I am sorry about Naruto. Jiraiya then left the office. About an hour later, the whole village had gathered in front of the Hokage tower. The only ones not there were a few Umbu that are out on the village's walls. Out on the Hokage's balcony we find Tsunade. She is about to talk to them. People of the Leaf, I am happy to say that today 2 of our heroes have been returned to us today. I give you the 4th Hokage Minato, and his wife the Red Death of the Leaf Kushina, said Tsunade as she stepped out of the way of the two as cheers went up from the villagers. Hello my fellow people of the Leaf, Kushina and I are angry and sad today before you all, said Minato looking at the villagers. Now I bet you all wonder why we are angry. Well, we are both very disappointed with you and with us, said Minato. Yes, why are you disappointed with us and you? Said a female villager. Before I tell you all this, let me tell the young ones of this village a story, said Minato. One day 13 years ago I battled the demon fox, but in order to win I had to seal it in a child that I said was to be the village's hero. Why should we have seen that demon in human form as a hero? Said a male villager. Because he was my son, you fool. Do any of you fools think I would seal the demon in my son if I thought it would be able to hurt him? Also, if it was not for my son who saved many other babies born that day, one of your kids would have been used, yelled Minato as his killing intent went out. No sir, said the same villager. That is why we are disappointed in the village. As for us, we should have known that the hate from that night would have blinded you all to the truth. But we both thought that this village was stronger than that, but I guess we were wrong, said a sad Minato. The older villagers all looked down in shame, but one of the young ninjas asked him this. Fourth way, are you and your wife sad? Said a young girl named Hinata. Because we have found out from my teacher Jiraiya, who came back today, my son has died helping a group of farmers, said Kushina taking over. At hearing this, everyone was shocked, as the older villagers who thought that they could say sorry to Naruto found they could not. As for the younger one, they thought they would say thank you for your sacrifice. Hinata had fainted at hearing this, with her team helping her. Now I want to say I am once again the leader of the village, and even though a lot of you did not follow my wish, I still see this place as home and you all as family, said Minato as he and Kushina left to go back inside. Dismissed, yelled Tsunade as she followed. And with that the people left, each think about who they are. Back inside the Hokage's office, the three got ready to handle a lot of problems in the village, and how Leaf handle things in the village. And the first thing they had to do was take care of Sasuke. From that day forward the Leaf would grow stronger, and it would be a long time before the truth about Naruto would come out. Back on the continent of Server, Naruto and his friends had gotten to Empty Moon at about 8 a.m. and are going through a tunnel through the empty. This place, even with the lights in the tunnels, is dark, said Mei, trying to hide how she was a little scared of this place. Maybe we should go over or around? Yeah, it is dark, but it would take 3 days to go over the empty and 5 to go around. It would take too long, said Keitaro. He is right, it would take too long. But don't worry, Mei, I will not let anything happen to you, said Naruto as he grabs Mei's hand and gave it a gentle squeeze. This action made Mei blush as she squeezed back. Soon both let go and entered the tunnel. Some time later the three heard the sounds of digging not too far ahead of them. Wondering what was going, they headed to where the sound was coming from. Soon the three found a man with brown hair and glasses. He is dressed in a white lab coat with brown pants with a blue shirt under the lab coat. The man had yet to see that they were there, but as they got closer, Keitaro called out to him. Seymour, is that you? Said Keitaro. The man, at hearing Keitaro, turned to the group and said, Keitaro, what are you doing here? And with that both men ran up to each other and hugged. Keitaro, who is your friend? Said Mei. Oh, where are my manners? Naruto and Mei meet Seymour. He and I went to crystallize you together, and he is a Pokémon scientist at Pewter City Science Museum, said Keitaro. Hello, you two, said Seymour. Hello, said both together. Seymour, this is Mei. She is a Pokémon coordinator, and Naruto a Pokémon trainer. From there, Keitaro asked this. Seymour, why are you here? I am studying the Clefairy and Cliffable, as you know, but Keitaro, I have recently come across a lead on the next key of the Dark Temple, said Seymour. At hearing this, Keitaro was shocked. He has been looking for a lead for the other 2 keys for years. Where is it? Said Keitaro. It is on one of the Orange Island, that is all I have, said Seymour. At hearing this, Keitaro knew what he had to do. Naruto and Mei, I hate to do this, but I have to go and get the second key before Team Rocket gets a lead on it, said Keitaro. And before you both ask, no, you can't come along. I want you both to continue your journeys. We understand, Keitaro, we will miss you though, said Mei. I don't like this, but okay, just call us if you need help, said Naruto. Don't worry, I will, said Keitaro as he hugged them. Once he let go, he then said, Now then, both of you should get going to Cerulean City. You're right, said Naruto as he and Mei left. Once they were gone, Keitaro told Seymour what was going on. Once Keitaro was done, Seymour left to Pewter City to tell his teacher about what was going and that they had to find the last key area. And with that, Keitaro left the cave, heading to the nearest river so he could use his dugong to get to the ocean. As he head there, he pulled out his cell phone. He then called his teacher Sita to tell him he need him to shadow Team Rocket. Back with Naruto and Mei, they were sad that Keitaro was gone. Naruto, do you think Keitaro will be okay? Said Mei. Yes, Keitaro is very strong. I know he will be fine, and he knows if he needs help he can call us, said Naruto. I guess, but I wish he had stayed. I miss him already, said Mei. Me too, but as long as we remember that no matter how far apart we are, as long as we remember each other, we are never apart, said Naruto as he hugged Mei, who hugged him back. Once they were done, they continued on their way to Cerulean City and both of the matches. So Keitaro leaves Naruto and Mei to look for the seconded key of the Dark Temple. And even though he is not with them now, Naruto is right. As long as they hold on to the memories they made, he will always be with them. And even as Mei and Naruto part with Keitaro on their Pokemon journey, I am sure more meeting await them. End of chapter 12. What if Naruto has harem with Mei/Haruka Pokemon? End here, and thanks for watching my video till the end.